It's getting harder, you turn my heart up, throw me in water. I'm getting higher, just to feel ya, cause I need to. No one knows it, heart is frozen from your poison. Taking the potion, just to feel ya, cause I miss you. Oh my God, can't stop you like heroin. My love you got, there's no settlement. I can't pretend that we're not meant. Oh, I think I'm overdosing. I think that I'm overdosing. I think that I'm overdosing. I think I'm overdosing. It's getting stronger, can't take no longer, walking on fire. I'm getting higher, just to feel ya, cause I need to. Feels like I'm burning a little bit more, just a little bit more now. Taking the potion, just to feel ya, cause I need ya. Oh my God, can't stop you like heroin. My love you got, there's no settlement. I can't pretend that we're not meant. Oh, I think I'm overdosing. 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 It's getting stronger. I think I'm overdosing. I think I'm overdosing.
Hello, my friends. How's everybody? Welcome to this live video on this Saturday, the 11th, May 11, 2024. Welcome everyone who is watching. If you're watching this on the West Coast, if you're watching here, well, no, the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast. You're watching from the West Coast to the East Coast in the United States. If you're watching in Latin America, my friends in Brazil, I have a lot of Brazilian friends here. In Argentina, welcome. You're watching in Europe. You know, it's very, very late right now, but maybe some people still up at night. You know, maybe you're at work. You know, we always get people like that. Whether you watch the recording too, I know a lot of people do in Southeast Asia. We have friends there, followers there. We have people, of course, in all around the world. So it's not only one place. My friends in Canada, welcome. Thank you for your support. Thank you for always being here with me. The people in the Middle East, you know, we have everywhere. There's a lot of collectors. There's a lot of people who follow this channel over the years. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to host this and to be here. It's always a pleasure. I want to make sure that all the sound is correct. So work with me on this. I got up a bit late. I was taking a nap. And I put my it's working. Okay, so you can hear me. So I kind of like started late. I was rushing. My wife was the one that woke me up. I was just taking a nap. I was enjoying it, and I thought I had the put the alarm to the right time. I know I did it wrong, so I was about to kind of run late. So I kind of got up late, got everything ready, took the dog out, all that stuff. So be prepared to be here. Before we get into anything, I want to congratulate all the mothers. I do not have like a big following women in this channel. I think 5% maybe of my followers, people who watch this channel, are women. It used to be a lot larger the number back in the day. you know, it seems like the collector world, there's not that many women, but there are, and they have made a couple of female friends through this channel. A lot of, you know, there are females out there, women out there who watch this channel. So I want to congratulate all who are mothers. Happy Mother's Day. We're celebrating the Mother's Day tomorrow, but this weekend technically is Mother's Day. Eddie, how are you, my friend? Good evening. But I want to say, you know, congratulate all the mothers. Yeah, everything is well. Eddie, thank you very much for stopping by. Everything is good. Busy day. Doing things with my wife. It seems like we kind of had a late start and everything, but we're doing good. So we're everything is well. So I hope everything is well with you as well. And I want to wish the same to everybody. I wish the same for all your spouses. If your wives, you have mothers in the family, of course, your mothers, happy Mothers Day. I hope you enjoy this weekend. You take them to a nice place for dinner or lunch tomorrow, if you go to church or not. Or then you just spend the time with your mothers and just celebrate them, because we wouldn't be here without them. So happy Mother's Day for sure. All right, my friends, we have an interesting night. I have a few things that I want to cover today. Of course, we're always covering. It seems that there's not that many releases this week in the statue world. There's a few and very interesting one, and that's good, because sometimes it's the big companies, since, you know, releasing a lot of stuff, the big hitters, and it seems like the attention always goes to those big companies, or like Sideshow or so and so and so on. So there's not that many releases like that today, but we have action figures, and we have some companies releasing some interesting looking statues, and we're going to look at some of that. It's good always to also give attention to the smaller producers. So today we're going to look in the action figures world. We're going to talk about, I want to talk about Hasbro. It just released an Ecto 1. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, I'm a big Ghostbusters fan, and this one went on pre-order this week. It's a 118 model of the Ecto 1. I want to look at it today. I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters, so I want to kind of cover it right away. We're going to talk about McFarlane toys. They're releasing not only an action figure pack today that is very interesting. I want to look at it today, but also they're releasing on the DC Direct side. They're releasing a new statue of Batman. Actually, there's two releases of Batman, so we're gonna look at them today. We're gonna look at Storm Collectibles. We're gonna talk about Threezero. We're gonna talk about Mondo. They released the new Sled for the Masters of the Universe line, 1/6 scale. Interesting, very cool that they did this one. We're gonna look at it, of course. Hot Toys. On the statue side, figurine side, we're gonna talk about this company that always it's hard for me to, I don't know even know how you're pronouncing it right, but it's a Japanese company. It's Mamegyorai. I think that is the name of this company. They release a statue. If you're a horror collector, it's a very interesting PVC ABS statue. We're going to look at it today. We're going to look at Revive Studio. We're going to look at Dream Figures. Now they having some of the stuff. I think I talked about some of the stuff before, but they have it now at Sideshow. We're going to look at it today. We're going to talk about Mana Sum. This company produces a lot of, they support a lot of different artists, a lot of more the indie style of stuff. And now they have stuff on Sideshow. We're going to look at the stuff they have this week. We're gonna look at another company called Jomatal. Jomatal is releasing also a very interesting quarter scale statue. If you're an Azur Lane fan, if you played this video game, we're gonna look at it today. Of course, Prime1 Studio. Another company that I want to cover today is Tamashii Nations. Tamashii Nations is releasing some stuff this week, and some very interesting stuff that is actually is already. They already had the pre-orders they needed or whatever. So we're going to look at it today, and some other things that it's going to kind of tag along as we go along, going through this stuff. Some of stuff here I see that I didn't write it down. We're going to look at PCS Collectibles. Hey, what's up, Adam? How are you, my friend? Yes. So we're going to look at Michael Jordan life-size bus, which is a very interesting bus. I have things to say about this one, but we're going to look at it today. So yeah, so we have an interesting night. And I want to say thank you everyone that is here. I appreciate your support. Don't forget to leave a like. That's important. If you're here for the first time, you like the contents that I produce, which I don't produce as many reviews as I used to, many videos daily as I used to do because of my time. But still, we cover some stuff, and we try it. And this is probably the only time in the week where I get to talk about a lot of things. We have and I don't have to produce a video for everything. And that is good to me. I'm able to cover as much as I can, as much ground, and talk about all the cool collectibles out there, all the toys, and anything that has to do in the collectibles world, where there's action figures, where there's statues, props, and anything in between. So it's something that I really like. But before we get into it, there's a couple of things that I want to cover today. Before we get into the whole thing, there's a couple of things that circulated in the collectible world this week. It's always drama. There's always people pointing things from here to there, and I want to cover some of that stuff because I think it's important to kind of clarify things. I'm not the expert, but in my experience, I'm able to see a lot of things, to understand things, because I've been here for a long time doing a lot of collectibles, doing stuff here on social media. So I'm able to know more, to understand the things more, because there are a couple of things that come with experience, of course. I'm not saying that I'm the most experienced person in the world or the most knowledgeable, but definitely I'm a person that likes to inform myself and look at things from different perspectives. Not like to just make judgment right away. So there are a couple of things that I want to cover today. Particularly, I want to, with XM Studios, I want to talk about XM Studios. There was a little bit of drama this week. We're going to look at Figurama collectors. That was another big issue that happened this week. And I want to kind of look at different angles to kind of give my perspective, my opinion about the situation. And maybe this can help some collectors who are maybe divided or disturbed or confronted or in doubt of what these two companies are doing. And not only these two companies, there's many companies that are in kind of like in a limbo state, or they're doing things that sometimes makes collectors wonder the state of the industry. So we're gonna look at some of those things today. I want to start first with XM Studios. I think XM Studios is a great company. Of course, we have talked about the collectibles from a long time. Great company. They've been in a very quiet mode for quite some time, and a lot of, that really puts a lot of customers, they feel like there's something that is not yelling well, or it's not something that it's a reflection of something that is happening internally with XM Studios. I think that is not the case. But of course, like any type of situation where people, with companies are doing certain things, it kind of triggers some people to have a reaction, and you have to be very careful with the reaction. I even saw what was that, Batman Statue Collector made a video about it, expressing his opinion, which everybody's should express their opinion, and he is a big YouTuber. So at this point, I think also congratulations to him because his channel is growing. I think he's 100,000 subscribers or so. So definitely there is growth that's happening on his side, which is great. But let's see if we can come here. I'm gonna take you. Maybe we can open it here. If I cannot open this box here, I'm gonna go. Maybe they have it also on Instagram. Let me kind of go there. And I want to kind of do that. And yes, again, I congratulate Batman Statue Collector for his achievement on this one. All right, let's see. I'm trying to locate this, and I'm gonna show you in a moment what's going on here. All right, so we're doing this. All right. Okay, now let me go there. Okay, here we are. You might not see it there. This is something that was presented not only at, it's not only here on Instagram, it's also on Facebook, so you can go there. So XM Studios, dear collectors, we want to share an important shipment update with you. First and foremost, we understand how frustrating it can be to experience delays and uncertainty, and we want to extend our gratitude for your patience during this time. XM has recently encountered various challenges with our factories, such as closures and quality assurance issues. Our priority has been to resolve these issues before committing further product shipment updates to you. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused by the delay in updates. We are pleased to inform you that our factories are now operational again, and we're preparing to resume shipping more statues in the upcoming months. Below is the current list of items scheduled for shipping in May and June. Please stay tuned for further details. I'm not sure if we can see it there. I don't see it there. Let me see if I can go to Facebook here. This is right there. Okay, Venom Arise, May 2024. Supposedly it's going to happen. We're going to start shipping this month. Wolverine also is going to start shipping this month. Superman Classic Quarter Scale, they think they're seeing this updates in June. And then Optimus Prime Bus and Megatron Bus in June 2024. Absolute Carnage, July 2024. Now, of course, this is, to me, good news. But for some people, it's not good enough. Like, I feel like a lot of swim collectors that they were posting out that, oh, this is too late, a little too late for that. What's going on? The thing is this, not only them are going through these delays, everybody else going through delays. Almost everybody at this point. You know, like it's rare to find a company that actually is sticking to the schedule. For the most part, everybody delays. And it's getting to a place where I know for some collectors, they feel that it's ridiculous, but it's not unheard of. It's like, you know, delays can happen. There are products that are coming up to 2 years or more, or even at 4 years. We're coming to that place. At the same time, the quality of these products is way above anything that we have seen before. And there's always this expectation that we have now, the things to be almost flawless for the prices that we're paying, the collectors are paying, so they expect things to be flawless. So there is a lot of quality control. There's a lot of detail that goes into producing these magnificent pieces of art that companies, they definitely have to take their time with the factories in order to produce that quality, because, you know, you promise something, you want to offer that what you promise. And there's been so delay after delay, and of course there's a lot of situations that are happening right now, the effects of the war in the Middle East. You know, right now with, you know, Israel and the Palestinian people, there's something that is definitely affecting, you know, the situations in Iran involvement is affecting the shipment routes in Europe. So all of the situations that throws everything a monkey wrench to all the situations that are happening, it makes things so difficult. And keep in mind that the oil that comes to produce a lot of these resins that we use come from the Middle East. So the more costly it is, the more difficulty it gets for this product, you know, for the oil, for the resins, for the you know, anything that is oil based to get to China for production is creating a problem. The same happened with the Ukraine war and Russia. All of those things, you know, you may not think that affect that because you think China is here and the Ukraine is here, but we live in a very globalized economy where everything has an effect. Of course, China's also going through transitions. They have some disasters over there, flooding that has caused some situations, some of the factories to close. There's so many uncertainty in the world sometimes that it's hard to really pinpoint what is causing this problem. But all of this combined, and of course the cost of production of so many things makes companies they take longer than they used to produce some of those things and to really deliver the products they promise. It doesn't mean that they are going out of business. It doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing. It doesn't mean that, you know, the company is gonna just crash down and burn, all that. It's just the reality we're living. All companies, Sideshow, Hot Toys has been in business for a long time. Hot Toys has more delays than anybody else that I know of right now. You know, like people are getting, and I see it all the time in the groups with Hot Toy products. People are constantly crying out, always complaining, oh, I already pre-ordered this, and I'm still waiting, and I got to notice that it got delayed. At least, one thing I could say about that is that at least you're getting the notes. You know, if you order this through Sideshow, of course, Sideshow has always been professional about it, you're going to get the notice. At least you're getting notices. Some companies are not doing that. And I would say that some of these companies here are not doing it. Sometimes they're not doing a good job in that part. XM has been very quiet. I'm not going to deny it. And some people feel like, you know what, I just cancel my stuff because it's taking too long. Some collectors, they just go by the FOMO. Fear of missing out, just the heat of the moment, they pre-order things and they change their mind. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's your money, you can do whatever. I've been through that situation before too myself. I order something, I lose sight of it, or I just don't care much anymore. So things like that. And, you know, I let it go. Some people do the same way. But that doesn't mean that XM is late to the game, doesn't mean that this is a sign of the end of XM Studios, doesn't mean that XM Studios is gonna shut their doors and the customers don't care about XM Studios. I think the company, it's still a powerhouse. I still believe that it went through a transition moment. It went in through a process, which is normal with a lot of these companies. Where there's changing, of course, they got into this. The owners are still the same, but it was more that they became part of a conglomerate of companies or businesses over there, which means more funding. I think that XM is in that situation of transition where it's trying to find itself, or define itself as a company. What is the direction they want to follow? And one thing that they have very, very persistently have done, and they're constant with it, is that they want to go and stay with it within a niche. Are they going to expand? Are they going to continue that vision? Who knows? So companies go through a process where they realize what is profitable and what is not. And for them, you know, it helped a lot when there was a lot of things smaller in this hobby. But this hobby has changed and continues to change, where it's becoming bigger and bigger. There's more collectors than ever before. So I'm not sure if XM Studios is going in that route. I don't think they know exactly where they're going at the moment. But at least one thing we could say, that they are coming with those releases. They are updating, which is great. They're telling us exactly where these pieces are gonna come. There's other pieces we don't know exactly what's going to happen. People need to be patient. You know, that's the name of this game. If you are a collector in this hobby, I'm telling you right now, patience is your best friend. If you are not patient enough, in this hobby. You're not going to survive this hobby. Find something else. Find something cheaper. Find action figures, for example, like the cheap figures, because those companies, they have their own factories. They're big conglomerates, multinational companies, that they have so much, they have their own factories, Hasbro, Mattel, things like that. They can produce, and they get through delays too, but they are producing because they mass producing stuff. So go for that thing if you feel that you don't have patience for this, because in this market, always in the collectible market, particularly with statues, it's always been delay after delay after delay. When we're talking about high-end collectibles, when we're talking about products that cost more than the average action figure, that you realize that you're talking about a product that is mostly handcrafted. It's a product that is artisans are involved in the production and the painting and the assembling. It takes time, and you get, it's part of the process. You just have to learn to wait. That's the way it is. And I feel that XM, we don't know exactly what they're doing, and also people lose hope. And there's always been people that are always detractors of XM Studio for a reason or another. They don't like him because they were originally sideshow collectors, and XM kind of came and throw everything out of proportion. Things changed when XM was here. I don't think XM was the one who created the problem. I think it was just in the situation that was happening at that time when XM came. Prime1 Studio, XM Studio, they came at the same time. These two companies, they came up with a different idea, different vision, and people embraced them, and some collectors felt left behind, and that's just the way it is. Particularly with the prices, that was the moment where the situation in the hobby was changing. Pricing was changing, and it hasn't been the same ever since. Prices have changed. Really, things are more expensive, but just kind of like, we just have to kind of keep that in perspective. Right there, Adam says, great point about the supply chain ripple effect. Short-term memory is your best friend in this hobby. Yes. This is the thing. It's true. I will tell you this, Adam. I feel, and everyone else, I am the type of person, at the beginning, many years ago, I used to get upset when the delays were there. Believe me, I used to be upset. I was like, why we have to wait this long? I paid for this money. I'm getting to the place in my life where I don't care much anymore. I pay for something, and I forget that I pre-ordered it. And it's kind of nice in some way, because sometimes you come home and all of a sudden you get your notice. Oh, your product that you pre-ordered like 2-3 years ago, it's now on its way to you. And I'm like, oh, cool. Now it's Christmas today. It's just the way it is. And I feel better that way than trying to worry so much about it. If, it's not going to fit. I had plans for it. I already have this, or I already made changes to my display, and I'm waiting for this. And I already have this. I see sometimes many collectors that are like, oh, I already made a space for it and I'm waiting for it. And I'm like, dude, don't even bother. Because it may take another 2 years, and you're going to have an empty spot for 2 years. So don't worry about it. Matter of fact, you don't even think about it. It's better to worry about it when the time comes, when it's come to you. It's kind of like the same idea. It's better to ask permission than, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. So it's the same here, and in the sense that, I order things, I don't have space for them. I will worry when they come here, when the box is by my doorsteps, and then I say, okay, now I need to figure out how I'm going to fit it on my display. But other than that, I'm not envisioning anything. I'm not thinking how I'm going to fit it in. I'm leaving for the moment, because I don't have a guarantee of tomorrow. I pay for it because I liked it. Whether it comes or not within the timeline that they promise, that's not up to me. It's not even up to the company that is producing it. There's so many things happening that are affecting the way things are being sent out or shipped out or produced, and that, it is what it is, like, it's a gamble. At the end of the day, it's a gamble. And we talk about the same thing. We're talking about Oniri Creations. It was a gamble. I know a lot of people lost money in the process, but you're gambling in many ways when you're buying these products. Are they going to be produced or not? You never know. They hope that they are, but don't act or don't think that it's certain that you will get the product at the time that it was promised, or that you will even get the product or even the money back. It's just the way it has always been. You're talking about an industry that is based on products that are artisanal made. They're artisans making these products. So, hey, it is what it is. We have to keep that in mind. So that's what I want to say about them. Now, there's another company that I want to talk about. Let's see if we can find it here, which is Figurama Collectors. That's another ball game. It's similar to the situation here, but it's also another problem that happened. And let me see if I can find I think it was a Red Titan, so we'll see. My good friends there. Alex Thomas. Okay. I think it's Red Titan there. we're gonna look at there. Let's see if we can find. You know, I think it was here. I hope it was here. I didn't save it, but we're gonna look at this. You know, another thing about my good friends, the Rat Titan guys, their channel has grown intensively. I congratulate them also for their growth. Amazing. They've been, you know, we started almost at the same time in this channel, our channels. I think I started that before them, way before them, but we've been friends since. You know, I always appreciate their candor. They don't hold bars when it's about what they have to say. Alex, of course, has been involved with XM Studios, but also he's been involved with Figurama Collector, so I don't see it here. So let me see if I can find anything here. I'm going through all my friend lists. Maybe I'll find this stuff. Man, I should have looked for this one. Oh, man. Right there. That's the one right there. Find it. Sometimes you gotta go through your notes. All right, this is what happened here with Figurama collectors. Sorry. White delays are welcome in the game industry, and seeing a quality improvement versus the statue wall is beyond me. You know, and the one thing, I was watching a video today about a good friend. Well, it's a YouTuber that I watch. I want to call it a friend because we're not really close. But he was talking about the situation on the industry. I think a lot of collectors or a lot of gamers are upset on the current situation of the game industry. I think that there's a lot of valid points of what he was saying in the video. And it has to do with the way the companies want to rush the product. And the reality is that, like you said, I think it's a given in the gaming industry, which I love. I'm also a gamer. Is that I'd rather wait for a good game that is fully everything is done right than just having a rushed out game that is just half-ass done, that I don't get the opportunity. You know, like some of these games, my favorite games, franchises have gone to the toilet because when you play the game, it's like you have nothing, no content, no anything. It's like they're building it as they go along. And I'd rather for the companies to wait. I used to remember back in the day, it used to be more common that there was a lot of delays and it was fine to wait. You know, like there are games that can take for a long time. Like you can see like you know, the Rockstar games. What was that? The producer of the GTA games. They're producing one. It takes them forever to produce a game. You know, the last GTA they did it for like the last generation, this generation. They're not gonna make another one, but it take years for them to produce one. And it's fine when they come, like, you know, they're the best games ever. And sometimes it's best for that. I don't know why people are just impatient about it. I'd rather wait, but get the product with the best quality possible than just get something half-ass done. You know, that's just the bottom line. Now, I want to talk about this one here because this is supposed that what happened here, right, Titan? We're gonna now talk about what's happening with Figurama collectors. Of course, we have talked about Figurama here, this company based in the Middle East. You know, they have some really knocker products. They have amazing products, but this situation happened. It was posted here, and I'm gonna kind of read it here. That sounds like they might go into administration if they can find the cash. It smells like an eerie. Hopefully it's not the same situation. Okay. Figurama Collectors has proven to be this is the person that created the post. This is actually a shipper. It's a company that does the freight. He's the freighter. He's the company that does the freight for this company and ships around the world, whatever this is. It's one of their vendors. Figurama Collectors has proven to be an untrustworthy company, consistently postponing freight payments for more than 6 months. Despite our attempts to resolve the issue, they have deceived us at every turn. We are now preparing to take legal action in China and hold all relevant projects in the country. So he's holding all the products, all the shipments hostage. They owe me more than, in this case, it's on $40,000. I don't know if it's pounds or what, but it's over 40 USD right there. So it's $40,000, $41,000. And they're still, and these are still 2023 freight. So that's just for 23 they haven't paid. So they have a lot of unpaid invoices. Their behavior is unbearable. They have been deceiving me for 6 months, procrastinating again and again. Now, I will tell you one thing. $43,000, $41,000 is a lot of money. I'm not saying that it's not. The whole ordeal, of course, there are defenders here in this pose of Figurama. And they are, of course, defenders of this freight. I'd say, Figurama needs to pay the bill. This company is going to, as even the poster is saying, they're going to, more than likely, if they're going into that situation, there's the signs that this is going to happen. The same happened with Oniri if there's no cash flow. And I posted there something, this was my response, because I posted, there was some back and forth with some other collectors in reference to that. I will tell you this, it's not a good sign for Figurama, of course. But it's important to realize that all companies go through moments where there's, there's uncertainty. That's like we talk about with XM Studio. There's a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now. Companies are not like banks. They're not holding their money like every time they get a pre-order or they get price, it doesn't mean that there's good cash flow. And I think the problem that we see here is that Figurama is suffering for cash flow. They don't have enough money to pay every single bill. We went into detail, into moral detail, what happened here is that there was some back and forth. He showcased some of the text messages that they have between each other. I will tell you the situation, the owner of Figurama is trying to say, well, we're going to pay you a certain amount. We cannot pay you at all, but, let's work it out. Let's just make it work. I'm going to pay you. He is accusing them, this guy is accusing them that they're not paying their bill. They promise they're going to pay, but they don't pay the bill. So, honestly, it doesn't look good on Figurama for sure. And definitely, in my opinion, if you owe money, you need to pay the money. You need to find a way to pay the money. At the same time, this person goes on social media and vent everything to everyone there. And to me, that is not professional at all. Honestly, companies should be, if you have a business, and I said this many times before, where you're dealing with clients, it's better to keep things to yourself. If you have a problem with a client that is not paying you, first of all, foremost, don't do anything with them. And just simply take whatever action you need in order to get paid, if you have to take a legal action. But this bully tactic of going into social media and vent, and I was going through some of the notes, some of the comments. It's like they had been paying partially, but not fully. And this guy wants to get paid, fully for everything they owe. The reality is that even if you go to court, in any court of law, if you show that you have willingness to pay, at least receive that you're making partial payments, is all the judge needs in order to give you, the case and not go further into any other details of the situation. A judge cannot force anyone to pay like as you want to. And people are saying, but they're defaulting on their credit, they're defaulting on the promises, they made a contract. There's no contract. When you do freight stuff, you don't make contracts with these companies. You may have a line of credit, and that's the reason why big freighters, that sometimes what they do, and I have dealt with this, working with, international trade, things like that, in different businesses that I have in the past, that I work with. You enter into disagreement, they may have line of credits through different banks. It seems that he doesn't have none of this. It's a very small type of producer, maybe, charges cheaper than the big ones. So there's no line of credit. You're not dealing with a bank, because all he needs to do, if you have a line of credit, simply the bank will open your credit. You have a certain amount. As long as you're making payments, you're good to go. So that's some more internal between Figurama collectors. I think Figurama collectors need, the problem that I see with all of this is that right now Figurama doesn't have enough credit to get things done in a different route. So maybe it's opting out for cheaper or smaller vendors to do certain things. And this is hurting them at the long run. It also shows that there's probably Figurama is not as big as they seem to be, or they don't have as much money available or cash flow in order to cover all the expenses. Now, it's important to know that just because a business look good or they produce certain things doesn't mean that there's a lot of money, that they have money. It's not like they, like they have a vault where they put all the money of the pre-orders and the money stays there. When they need it, they just grab it. No, many of these companies, when they buy these licenses, when they pay for the original licenses, they're very expensive. Sometimes cost millions of dollars for them for these licenses. And in order to sustain that, they're constantly, they invest the money, they pay for that. Then they gotta pay the banks, they borrow the money to pay that. Then they gotta do this, they go to the next project and the next project. So technically the projects are kind of sustaining the company, paying the salaries, doing everything. It's not like they have like a copious amount of money sitting around. And sometimes, those are the things where some of these owners, they skip some bills in order to sustain themselves. And that is just part of the process of building a business. I'm telling you, when you start building a business, there's a lot of things that can go wrong at the first 3 years of any business is known. This the first 2-3 years you make no money, everything is red, everything you're doing is starting to recover. Figurama is not that old of a company, so these signs are not good, but at the same time I don't think they're out of the ordinary. I feel that the company needs to be more steady. They definitely need to have investors. They definitely need to look for other ways to make money. Investors, they have good projects. They do have great projects. I think they have great stuff that they have showcase. They have pre-order stuff, but they need to be more sustainable. And perhaps they need to have a better manager in the company that is running the numbers. Maybe they need to hire somebody to run their numbers to make sure that everything is covered. Because it seems that here is the owner of the company dealing directly with them. That really shows you that he is a small company. Most of the time, CEOs, they also have an administrator. They have, a controller. Maybe you need someone who controls the company, make sure all the bills are paid, everything is done correctly. Because if you're dealing directly with the owner, then definitely it's something, that really tells you that the company is not as big as it is. He's trying to get all the stuff done, taken care of. It's a word of mouth type of deal. Now this freighter is going to hold the stuff for ransom so he doesn't get paid. It's just a mess, and hopefully they can figure it out. Hopefully that, but yeah, definitely there's a lot of situations that companies have to deal with, and this is one of them. Sometimes they gotta deal with other vendors. They gotta pay all those bills. It's not a simple thing. Just because you pre-order something and they're like 350 pieces that were totally sold, that doesn't mean that they have enough cash flow in order to cover all the expenses. They move from one pre-order to the next in order to cover all the stuff. And it takes time for a company to grow big. It takes time. I'm not here to justify what Figurama is doing. I just feel that it takes time. You gotta get given a little bit of room and avoid all this drama that happens in social media, because now it's a back and forth here. People are talking, defending. I was saying, putting my views. Some people came at me and says, well, you need to understand this is the way China is. And it's like, what? I understand how China works. I used to work for a company that used to deal with China, so I know how they are. But bully tactics don't work around outside of China. Yes, in China, they're used to, blast people on social media. We don't do that in the West. We don't do it because, first of all, it's unprofessional, opens the door for slander, opens the door for a lawsuit against the company. Easily Figurama, with all this mess, they can sue them, counter-sue them, even not in China, because they're not based in China, so they don't have to. They can do it in Dubai or any other country and simply claim that they're lost revenue because this vendor has been slander, making accusations, not allowing them, kind of disturbing their customers to buy. It's stopping them to buy, and they lost revenue. So yeah, they can they can actually go after them for damages. So it becomes a messy situation. And at the end of the day, I would say, yes, when you're dealing with different companies from different countries, there's always going to be a different culture, a different mindset to deal with. But I feel that companies should be careful. Anybody, whether you are a vendor, whether you're a freighter, whether you are a factory, you have to be very careful how you deal with the clients, because that is also affects you, and other people are seeing the way you behave, and other clients are gonna lose the respect for you. Yes, you might get away with it in China because of the situation, the peculiar situation of China, where we call it that is, there's still a lot of not freedom in China in so many ways. We can be honest about it. And it's not the same as in the West, where, because we have freedom of speech doesn't mean that we can always say whatever and we can always do whatever, because there are consequences. If I say something about my employer today, I lose my job tomorrow. If I say something about a client today, even when I go to work, in the company that I work for, there's, paperwork that you sign that you will not disclose any information of the company or any dealings with no one, no client. You cannot disclose it. Because, then you're violating situations, the company simply lets you go. And then if there are legal repercussions, you're responsible, not the company. Because you took it upon yourself to this, have a, to express or to give information that is private, that is only between the company and the client. Where there is money that is so whatever, there's things that you cannot simply disclose. I feel that this is a situation with this. I wish them luck, though. I wish that they get their money. I wish Figurama the final way to get the cash flow that it needs to cover all the expenses. They definitely need to hire somebody to manage all of that. I think they can do it. They produce amazing products. They sell well. You know, it's just they need to figure out how they're going to do it. And yes, keep in mind, a small company still, they still got a lot of things to cover. They're like every other company, everything that goes into invest and to keep the company in a very uncertain market as it is on this one. Companies need time for them to grow and become big companies that are more sustainable. And I feel that Figurama has the right idea. Maybe they don't have the right approach yet. So that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, I know it's a difficult situation. I know China is different. Somebody was saying, well, you need to think in Chinese terms, you know, a Chinese collector telling me about it. And I said, yeah, I totally get it, what you're saying. But the way you envision this is not necessarily the way you deal with customers outside of China. And Figurama is not based in China. So they can thread with legal action. Figurama simply is going to go the other way around. Simply just get rid of the vendor, deal with the legal action, find somebody else to do the freight. Now the freight this freighter has lost business. Not only that, and some credibility among other people that are not going to hire them. You know, they're going to find somebody else to do the work. And there's plenty of people willing to do the work. So even if they owe them money, it's just the way it is. Sometimes you have to deal, you know, and I know this for a fact, you know, I've seen it before, you know, like we live in a very uncertain times. Not all vendors, even big corporations, don't pay their bills sometimes. Believe me, sometimes they can take 6 months up to a year for them to pay an invoice. Big companies that have enough cash flow, they take forever to pay. A small, you know, and you know, when you're doing service, when you're selling a product, sometimes you have to deal with it, you know, and it's something that you go after them time and time again, but you have to be careful not to expose them, because then you're gonna lose the opportunity for money. If you take them to court for that money, you also have to pay for those fees, and that doesn't mean that you're gonna get paid. Particularly when you're dealing with a company that is external, is not in your country, that the court doesn't have authority over that company and cannot force that company to pay anything. So yeah, you have to work it out. It is a tough situation to be a business owner, but hey, you know, it's part of the deal. You know, this is why you choose to go in business. If you cannot handle the kitchen, the heat of the kitchen, then stay out of the kitchen. If you cannot handle being a business owner, then just be a worker, you know, just work for somebody else. Let them worry about those things. You only have to worry about getting paid. Do your job to get paid every payday, whether it's every Friday, every week, or once a month, whatever, however you get paid, you know. But when you're running a company, it's a lot of headaches that you got to deal with. So that's all I want to say about that situation. Yeah, it's a tough. I wish them luck, both of them. And hopefully they can handle things, you know, behind closed doors in a more professional manner. So that's all I have to say. All right, my friends. Oopsie. Let me see what's next here. But yeah, it's just one of those situations that, like, I'm like, okay, what companies are doing it just beyond me. What they do, it just, you know, it's a tough situation. I'm not saying Figurama, this is a sign. Some people say, oh, this is the sign of Figurama is going to die. I don't think so. It's not the sign. But it doesn't mean also that it's a good thing. You know, it's not. You know, companies need to pay their bills. That's just bottom line. All right, my friend. So that was my rant. It took a little while just to rant about these two situations. So sorry, but it was kind of fun. All right, so let's go now to, let me go to Repulse. Talking about now, we're gonna get into the situation here with the stuff we have. I think we're gonna go to Hasbro. If not, we're going to someplace else. We can go to Big Bad Toy Store, I think. Right there. I'm here at Hasbro because there is a new Ghostbuster. If you're a Ghostbuster fan, if you love action figures, we know that there is a new the O-rings, three-quarter Ghostbusters figures are coming. The O-ring figures, of course, if you remember the classic, they were set up classic by the G.I. Joe. They were back in the day in the 80s. Now they're going to have figures. The Ghostbusters, Hasbro's going to produce them. There's a pack that is coming soon. I'm looking forward to that pack. And I'll tell you why. They are building a Ghostbusters Plasma series. Of course, the original Ecto 1. It went on pre-order this week. A lot of people are happy with it. Some people are not. There's a bad review here, as you know it. $60 for this one. You can get this one. It's going to fit with the 3 3/4 figures. You can display them there. I will tell you this. Honestly, it looks kind of cool. But the only thing that I'm not a fan of, they do this as a 118. I don't see that there's anything with this that has to do with, or they have die-cast elements. I was looking at the pictures. I was looking at it. It's a lot of plastic. Now, if you follow the channel from a long time, one of my most popular videos ever, it was at some point the most watched video in this channel years ago, and still it holds the title, you know, up there, some of the most viewed, It's the my Ecto one from Hot Toys Elite. That was Mattel back then. It's a diecast model, beautiful model. There's other models that have come after it, but none of them as good as that one. That to me is the best, you know, Ecto 1 model in 118. It's diecast, everything is good. It's better than this, of course. So I would say that you know, I wish this was diecast. When they're showcasing it, I'm like, why can't I just simply be diecast? You know, why is it that they just, you know, they do this as a plastic model? You know, I'm not saying that it's let me see if I can open the image. No, I cannot. Let me see if we can open it. This is a video here. This is the model. Maybe you can see it there. It's pretty cool. You know, the model is nice, but the elements, it's mostly a lot of plastic as far as I know. I did not see anything there that said that this was made out of diecast element. And, you know, I like it. There are a couple of things are very nice, but there are a couple of things I feel too plasticky. I'm still gonna get the All Rings figures because I want to go with my model. I still have that model, so I want to just display with this. It's kind of nice. I know some people, I know that the Elite, the Hot Wheels Elite brand went out of business a long time ago. I was able to get some of their vehicles, but not all of them. But one of them, of course, until this day, I'm proud. If you go in the aftermarket, you're paying like $300 for that model or more. Some people are asking for a lot more because, you know, but it's a very sold out. Recently, of course, Hasbro Hot Wheels 2, they released a version that is a little cheaper. It's the same, still diecast. This one is still that they're selling for a good price. But it's a good model, and I will tell you, if you get the All Rings figures with that model, it would be more than fine. This is another alternative if you want to go straight with the Hasbro product. It's kind of good. It would be nice if they have any type of light-up features, which it doesn't have. Like, let's see, we can see here's another picture. That's another idea. As you can see, a lot of these elements on this model are just pure plastic. Looking at it, everything is very plasticky, and that is my disappointment. A lot of people are loving it, but to be honest with you, I feel that it's kind of low quality. And I don't have the Ecto with me here so I can show it. The one from Hot Wheels, those parts are, you know, diecast. You know, I feel that it's a more quality product. I paid definitely when it came out at like $100 or so, and that was probably 11 years ago or more, 12. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But I don't know. I just don't think with this product, it's kind of cool. And I know a lot of people are fans. They're ordering more than one or two. They want to display them like that. It looks fine. It's just the finish of the materials. They look very plasticky. Although I would say I like how transparent the glass is. That's kind of cool. I think the model has the look, and that is what's important. And it's very, very nice. Let me do this one here. Trying to show you all the pictures. This is the next one. The interior has nice detail. The Hot Wheels has much more detail, but I like the idea of having the O-ring figures to go with it, so that's better display in my opinion. That here, this part where you can carry, of course, the you know, the equipment, all that stuff, that's kind of cool. Rotates. I think this one opens and closes like that. The Hot Wheels doesn't, but it's there. And I've seen some people customizing the Hot Wheels versions into with lights and stuff, and I always we've been wanting to do the same thing. Haven't done it, but I gotta do it. Oh, this is kind of small. Let me see if we can get this one here. There's a picture here. It still looks cool though. I'm not saying that it looks bad. To me, that kind of looks cool. And very interesting that they're releasing that. Now here, you can see the packaging. That's still probably the only thing that I was like, man, that packaging looks on point. I like the packaging. That is probably the best part of it. In my opinion, it looks cool. It's better than the Hot Wheels, the lead model. That one, it was just all black. It was okay. This is a nice display. Just that box is a nice display. But yeah, that one's cool. Very nice art there. And here, they also provide the back of the package. That's a very nice way to look at it. It's a GM product, authorized, of course, General Motors. And I think that's about it. I'm telling you, yeah, they did a nice job. $60, not a bad price. It would be nice if if it was die cast, then of course, then we're talking about a product that in my opinion would be a lot better. But yeah, that's what they have, so not bad at all. All right, so the next product I want to talk about, I'm gonna take you now to McFarlane Toys. And McFarlane Toys have a couple of things this week that I'm gonna cover, but today what I really want to cover, let's see, we see it here. We're gonna go to DC Multiverse. Maybe we see it here. Right there. They got a couple of things that went out for pre-order. This is the one that is now sold out here, but of course, I'm sure you're gonna find it somewhere else. This is the Batman versus Bane. This is part of the DC Multiverse 7-inch figure and Mega Figure 2-pack. This is gonna ship in June. Now this, like, I'm telling you, it's like completely sold out. Maybe we can see the video here. Maybe you can see it there, I'm not sure. But trying to see the quality of this product is better. I will tell you this. I saw this. Maybe you cannot see it well there. I think we cannot see it there. Fine. I saw this one, and I will tell you, I've seen this also on. Let me see if we can go actually to maybe we can better pictures here. This 2-pack, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not necessarily this one right here. Look at this. I will tell you this. I'm not crazy about that Batman. It's just a redo, a couple of changes to the body. It's a redo they have done before. It's the same body they have used for other things. I'm not crazy about that Batman. That Batman can just eat dirt. You know, I can just throw it out. I don't care. That Bane though, the Bane that's a really nice figure. It has classic 90s Bane. It has some cell shading. I'm okay with it. Sometimes it's fine. It's not that bad, but that is a killer figure. Here is Todd showcasing the package and everything. The package is the standard DC Multiverse. That Batman, the big mouth, don't care about it, but he tries to replicate that scene in some way, which is one of my favorite ever covers. You know, but that Bane, to me, the Bane alone is the best part of the figure. I would say McFarlane, Todd knows how to sell figures. And even the background, look at that. So the packaging is good. You know, I will tell you one thing. Honestly, I'm not crazy about all the figures produced by McFarlane Toys, all the DC stuff. Some figures are okay. They look kind of weird. The body weight, you know, sometimes the body looks out of proportion to the art. Things like that. I'm not necessarily a fan, but I think where the figures shine in the McFarlane that is the big figures. The big figures that he produces are always the best part. But it's not always. It's not only limited to the DC products. It has always something that is also has been common with with the Spawn figures. Always the big figures were the best part. Big figures, they knew how to do it. Now this is the Batman, that cape, it's okay, cloth cape. It could go just for more of a plastic cape, but I think it's just in order to recreate the scene. But that big neck, that face like that, why couldn't you just simply have a normal face, or have two different faces? And then he has like the damage in his clothing, which is not in the cover, by the way. It's not there, as you can see. I don't know why he was trying to do, but it's just a reused mold with some damage added, and I don't know, it just doesn't even have the proper shading. And most of the time the model that you see is what you're gonna get. That portrait is horrible. I gotta be honest with you. I just don't crazy about that Batman. That Batman guy can toss it out. Honestly, if I'm buying this pack, it's gonna be for Bane, and I can wait for another Batman or something. That figure is just not right. And some people were like, "Oh, I love the figure," but like that face need a redo, But Bane, Bane alone is the reason you buy this package. So yeah, I would say, yeah, that's my only thing. Again, it's sold out here. As you can see, sold out here in this place. We might be able to find it. Let's see, we have it at Big Bad Toy Store. It might be there. Oh, you can see the Ghostbusters, the Ecto one is already there. I'm not sure if it's gonna be here. Probably not. Probably not. I think it perhaps is just no, they don't have it here. We're gonna talk about this one in a moment, but no, they don't have it. They just have that. So that is one that was just there, unfortunately. Still good. $60. I'm sure you will find it some other places too, but yeah, that's a figure. I don't care about the Batman, but that Bane, in my opinion, that is the best thing there. So yeah, good for them. Good for the Banes. If you get this, don't worry about Batman. Toss it out. You know, the Bane alone is worth the $60 in my opinion. That is just my opinion. I think it's a very nice, hefty figure. Looks so nice. Very close to 90s. Probably in my opinion, the best figure he has, the Bane figure he has produced through his company. All right, so I was there at Big Bad Toy Store, which is good because I want to cover now another company, and this is here Storm Collectibles. This is exclusive to them here, the Gatchaman June, the Swan. But of course, they are the only distributors in North America, around the world right now, of Storm Collectibles. And this is a very nice one. Of course, we already have Ken the Eagle. It's already available there if you want it. Now, this one is a lot cheaper, which is great. $89.99. You know, some people might still think the Storm Collectibles are too expensive, but I think the figures comes with so many different things, the you know, different switch up parts, all of that, which makes it good. I do like the sculpt on this one. I think it represents her really well. The classic Gatchaman style, you know, with her, you know, clothing and all that. The tall boots all the way to the top, above her knees. Very nice depiction, the portrait. It's not a big figure, of course, as a female. Some people don't like those butterfly, you know, joints. They're okay. She looks great in my opinion. Of course, you can post it in different ways. If you're building this Gatchaman, which is taking a little bit of time to be built, which is fine to me. Sometimes I feel that companies, it's better that they take their time to produce certain things. There has to be a level where everything is back to back to back, so people don't lose interest. But at the same time, I don't want when things are just released back, you know, so soon that, you know, there's so many products that you just like you get all this, you get to the point where you feel like, man, you lose, you know, the desire to collect that thing because they just selling product on, they're putting product on your face. They don't even give you time to breathe. And this is kind of cool. There's not much in it, as you can see. Two different portraits. They have two. They also, the skirt is different. One that is this one like more relaxed, more calm, and the one that is more open. And of course, to do certain displays, you can do also different things with her cape. Has her little weapon, the little hands. You know, the Swan looks fine. Nothing wrong with it. And of course, it's gonna fit well with Ken the Eagle. And this again, this is a 1/12 scale, so her size. It's within that, so 1/12 would be around like 7 inches, so it's technically within the same scale as the McFarlane toys, within 7 inches. So yeah, it's cool. And of course, they already, again, they have Gatchaman, they got Ken the Eagle, I'm sorry. Now June the Swan is the next one. I don't know who will be next. Hopefully we get, you know, they get the news at some time, not too far from now, but soon. And that's what Storm Collectibles has done. All right, so let me take you now to Sideshow Collectibles. And again, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for taking the time to be here. Appreciate it. Ken the Eagle is a great figure. I really like her also. Yeah, she looks great in my opinion. They did a good job. Now, I want to talk about Threezero. And that's the reason we're here. Threezero released a few figures this week. And I'm going to cover a few of them. I think the first figure that I want to cover with Threezero, of course, is the Deluxe Iron Man Mark IV. This DLX, the figures that they've been producing, in my opinion, they look great. They're not big. They're not Hot Toy size. They're very, very small scale-wise. but they come with a lot of these elements. I don't think it's fully die cast, but they have elements that they use this plastic that looks like die cast, and it looks very great. I see some comparisons, some videos. I saw some photographs in social media. A friend of mine who lives in Asia was posting them. You know, a good friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time. We work together at Statue Forum. He's always posting stuff. You know, he lives in Malaysia, so he's always gets closer to a lot of those products over there. You know, they get first dips on a lot of the products. So he was showcasing some of this stuff, and the comparison looked great. I think it looks fantastic. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's a great figure. As you can see, it's 6.9 inches. It's not that tall. But it comes with the different hands, different things you can do. A very tiny little figure, but very well done. And you can definitely pose it in different ways. It also has, if I'm not mistaken, Lido feature. Interesting. It's like a mini version, or you can call it a mini Hot Toys. And it's done really, really well. This figure, I really like it. The Mark IV is one of my favorite Iron Man suits from the MCU. I think it's one of everybody's favorites, one of the most popular ones. This is, of course, from the Infinity Saga, but it looks really nice. Very poseable. You can do so many things with it. As you can see, you can do a couple of things. So definitely, it's like having a mini version of Hot Toys. So for that fraction of the price, you're only paying $100 versus normally when this come out on Hot Toys, they could be $3 something, $400, even up to $500 depending on the materials. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I would say this is another winner, and they've been building this collection with all these Iron Man pieces that go along. In my opinion, they're all great. I do like that Hulkbuster. You know, some of the Mark 85 is fine, but this is the one, in my opinion, the one that most people were anticipating. The Mark 45, Mark 4. I'm sorry. The Mark 4 probably is the favorite, and I think this is the one that's gonna do the best. So yeah, kudos to them, Threezero, for doing this one. It looks really, really good. Now, Threezero also released another figure that I want to cover this week. They also have this, the Robo-Dou, whatever, Ingram Unit 1 reactive armor. And this is for the, when you're looking at the mobile police Pat Laver, or Pat Laver as he was known, there was a couple of movies. This started as a manga in Japan in the 80s. Then it kind of developed into a little series, and then of course there's a couple of movies. And this is like a big robots or whatever. That's what they call Pat Laver. Technically, it stands for Patrol Laver, because they definitely, the story is technically, and this is based on the second film, where these are kind of like the police force of the city, you know, with these big mecha robots, and they anything that has to do with robots, because there's a lot of stuff. So you have to kind of watch it. I'm not really like a super big fan of it, or no, I would say fan, but like an expert of it. I've watched the movies. I think I watched this one many years ago, so I'm very familiar with it. I haven't really read the manga, so I don't know much about it, but I've watched some of the movies. It's kind of cool. And looking at this one, it's a little bigger than the Iron Man we saw. It's 9 inches tall, with reflects, as you can see inside him, there's like a pilot. But this goes with that collection where they're building all these mecha robots. Very cool, very poseable. Again, as Threezero does with these figures, they make it look very premium. And they come with the little stand, with the little switch up parts. You can see the tiny little figure right there. It's a very cool figure. There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. Very cool. I like always like those the ears, the bunny ears as they call them. It's always been my favorite, one of my favorite things on a lot of manga and anime. Very classic Japanese design. Very cool. As you can see, you can remove certain things, some parts. You can do certain things. Very cool. Very poseable. Very nice. This is definitely for the hardcore fan who love the manga, the animation, who love the movie. $150. I think the price wise is not super expensive and not super you know, it could be more, you know, it could be cheaper too, but you know, if you're a fan, this is definitely for the hardcore fan of Pat Laver, whoever has watched the movie, whoever follows the franchise. It's a popular franchise in Japan and Asia, so kind of cool. Now the next piece that they release is this Loid Forger. You're a fan of Spy Cross Family, Code White, which is the movie. This is the winter custom version. They already have the regular version. This is a new one. And there's something that I can see now with Threezero. They're releasing more variants with different customs of the same pieces they have released. As you can see, comes with an interchangeable faceplate. He has the different hands. He has the eyeglasses. Has the watch. He has the gloves. He has the Beretta handgun. It looks like a Beretta, actually. And actually, it looks like a Mauser. German design. But it's kind of cool. It's just, if you're a fan, of course, it's just, again, this is a 1/6 scale. So it's within the 12 inches. Maybe here we can see, yes, 12 inches exactly. So yeah, definitely is there for a 1/6 scale collector. They've been building this tiny little collection. They've been doing the Figurama. They all look cool. I would say this is for the completionists. If you want to have a version, I think just the regular one is fine. But I do like the coat, and it looks really good. And here you can see the ones. I like the regular right here, as you can see. So yeah, Figurama figures, they still really nicely done. Threezero definitely had another great release. So this is what Threezero was doing this week. Definitely with these releases. They're not major big releases, but definitely they're very interesting. I think probably the one that people will be more excited is the Mark IV than the other two. That definitely that will probably do better sales, in my opinion. In the long run, people are going to go for it. All right, so now let me take you to Mondo, because Mondo released also another great release from Mondo right here this week. If you're the Masters of the Universe fan, the Sky Sled figure right there. This is definitely, a lot of people are super excited. This is a time edition. This is going to be open until the 17th. So that means until this week, upcoming week. So if you really want to go for it, it's $395. I do have the small version that comes with the Master of the Universe Origins. I really like it. I will tell you, I like it. I would say that I do think that they kind of make it less. I think that the original toy was a little wider in design. This is a little shorter. I feel that it's more compact to fit in my opinion. It feels a little smaller than it should be. But regardless if it's a little smaller or more compact, it seems on the front like a more, compact as a whole. I still think they did a fantastic job in recreating it. Has great detail. And I think, for most people, they're not going to notice the difference. Now, this one also comes with two different portraits. One for Prince Adam. If you already have Prince Adam in your collection, with the hair kind of flying in the air, and they also have one for He-Man. So they have two different interchangeable portraits for other figures, which is a nice touch. For this, it does comes with the effects. It has the base, this base that they produce, which is ugly in my opinion. They need to get rid of that base and create a really nice base instead of that cheap made base. But here you can see the dimensions. It's pretty large. It's 12.5 inches still, so it does have a nice dimension. Again, I still feel that it's smaller. I'm gonna say with the figure in a moment in comparison to when you compare it to the size of the original toy. But I think the design is perfect. It's just a tiny little fraction that I feel that is smaller, but it's perfect because, you're battling with space. This actually fits better in this space. It's gonna fit better than Battle Cat for sure. So 8.5 tall, just give you an idea of the scale. Love the detail there. A 360 of it. It doesn't have any ladder features. That's one complaint in my opinion for the price they're asking. It's a lot of plastic. Yeah, with detail here you can see with from this photo, it looks pretty much like the size is fine, but for some other angles, if I see it, like I feel that it's a bit small. It still is the rice. It still looks good. I feel it's a tiny little bit, but not by much, and it's fine. I think it's gonna look very good. Here you can see the portrait now with Prince Adam, the new portrait they have. Very nice. It's a very nice detail there. Definitely is for the completionists. Very nice picture here with Merman doing some repairs, so you can actually remove this panel. So look at the interior just to kind of do this type of scene, which is very, very cool. They're doing their repairs. Man at Arms, very nice. They need to do another Man at Arms. They need actually to re-release this piece. I missed on that one. I wanted it so bad, and I kind of skipped it time and time again when it came out, and I was like, okay, whatever. but still it's a very beautiful figure. Here's Skeletor, which I have. It's still it's still a knockout in my display, still amazing looking. And here you can see, I love the paint job, the detail, the weathering they do in the paint job in this prototype. Hopefully that's how it comes out also in the final product. That is the hope, that it looks like this, because they did a nice job on the and everything. It's a nice figure for sure, not denying on that. Here you can see, this is what I'm saying about the scale. Yeah, definitely looks a little tiny, little small, which I'm fine with. Looks like a moped size, but it's fine. I think it's gonna fit well. It doesn't need to be bigger. I think it's just the right size for any display, and people are not gonna notice a difference. The skylets are not that big on the original toys either, so it looks gay. It looks good. I'm still not necessarily a big fan of that portrait with the hair the way it is, but yeah, it's nice that they give you something different to represent that, you know, he's in it. Very cool. A better expression. I feel that the expression on those portraits is boring. They're just like very serious. It feels dull. It looks like a very dull. He looks more like a like he has like a bob or something. I don't know. It looks like he looks girly in some way. But here you can see different angles. Very nice. Very nice paint job detail on that one. Oh, yeah, I would say yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what makes it look smaller? I would say that it's kind of the same size now compared to the original toy. I think the difference is the back. I think that's what it is. That's where the reduction is. You can see on the back, this is almost at the same. Okay, so that's the impression I had. Okay, I can see it. Yes, it's a little bit wider here. I can see that it's bigger here. It's a bit smaller here. And this on the front, I don't know, you can see it, the front right there. It seems like it's more compact. Here it's more open, so that probably gives the impression that it's bigger. Yes, the head, the dragon is more protruding here. The neck here's a bit smaller. Here on the back, this is almost at the same level. This thing in the back, the bumper is almost at the same distance of the seat, but also him here's more open, more wider, so like it has some more space in the back. Yeah, so they did a reduction. They did a reduction, but it's so minuscule that you hardly notice it. So overall, I think in the end, it's a nice actually redo of that original one into one that fits into this 1/6 scale collection. So yeah, overall, it's just a small little nitpick there. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I just noticed it right away. But overall, I think it's a really nice modernization. That's the word. You're modernizing the sled, and it looks really, really nice. Even the colors, I like this color versus that straight green. It looks very nice. So yeah, I would say kudos to them. Price wise, $400 is a little steep. It could be cheaper, could be $300, and I think that would be better. There's no Lido features at all, but you know, this is what Mondo's been doing lately with prices, so gotta keep an eye on it. Very cool. I think it's nice. If you're a Masters of the Universe fan, yeah, why not go for it? All right, let's move on. Let's go to Sideshow because I want to cover now the next action figure in this here. I want to cover Loki. This is God Loki, and this is the artisan edition. There's actually two different versions. There is one collector edition that has the sculpted hair, and then the artisan edition, which is the one with the hair. Now this is now on the wait list, of course. Lately they've been waitlisting a lot of things at Sideshow. People seem to be eager to buy this at 2,500 pieces worldwide. 2,500, definitely they're doing good. Hot Toys is doing good. This is a very nice depiction of Loki. The hair looks fantastic. Let's look at the pictures now. Very nice portrait with the eyes. I think it has the rolling eyes as well, something that they've been doing with the new figures. That hair looks great. I would say this show particularly, I loved it. I think it came to a conclusion. If you haven't never watched it, I would recommend you to watch it from the beginning. I haven't watched Loki. If you watch it or haven't watched the last season, you should watch it. It takes a little, I don't think, there are a couple of things in the last season that weren't as crazy, but the last few episodes were probably the best. And definitely you see the character development, the transformation of Loki from the villain that he's always been into many ways a hero, a person that makes the right choices. It's a very, very, very smartly done. And I love that this one comes with a metallic throne, which is very, very cool to depict the scene that is from that series. It looks fantastic. Of course, he's in his hands, he's weaving the threads of time. That's why he's grabbing the threads of time. Very nice depiction. I really like this one with his, horns, his crown of Loki, and on his throne thing. Very cool. Gotta be honest with you, looks very, very nicely. It's very nice. Looks nice. It was nicely done. And again, this is the one that comes with the rooted hair, which give it a little bit of detail. Now, this is great. I think this premium with the throne, now you can see why, because this is the scene that you want to really, showcase there. Also, the effects for his hands, which is kind of cool. The rolling eyeballs, they're doing all of the figures, which in my opinion is fantastic. The metallic gold paint application, it says right there, of course. And this is the one, doesn't show the price right now, but yeah, it was up there. Not that super expensive. Now, this is the regular one, $290, fantastic price. This is the one with sculpted. This is also great in my opinion. It comes with the same. The only difference between this and the other one is just the hair. Because he has the same things, he has the same effects. Everything is pretty much the same. The only difference, again, is just the hair. And to be honest with you, you can get away with it. You can get away with just having the sculpted hair. You don't need the thread, the other hair just to be okay. So even that, this price is very, very good. Very nice detail. That sculpted hair looks really good. Sometimes, some pieces, they might look like a too plasticky, out of place, but because he has that crown, to be honest with you, the crown kind of covers some of that. It looks good. It looked as good as the one with hair, and in some instances it looks even better because he has this little shine in his hair that the light effects on the paint job, it makes it look shinier. That actually makes it more to that portrait to stand out even more, in my opinion. He still has the separate rolling eyes. So in this one, you can simply go for the regular one and be okay. You don't really, unless you care about the hair so much, but to be honest with you, that requires more maintenance anyway. Not having the hair, that's just easy peasy. You just display it. You don't have to worry about any damage or things going bad or something happening to that hair with the humidity, things like that. You don't have to worry about none of that. So yeah, I think this is probably my favorite of the two, more than the artisan edition with that hair, which doesn't look bad. Just the regular is fine. I don't think people would notice the difference. So yeah, why not? You can go with it. All right, my friends, I think, wow, that was an interesting part of the thing. Do we continue on? Do I take a break? Let's just continue on. I'll wait for my little break a little bit. Let me drink something here. Let me drink some water, or at least something here. Some coconut water, which is good. Oh wow, I'm a little bit thirsty. Okay. All right, so these were the action figures. I want to cover the statues. And as we are here at Sideshow, I want to cover a couple of things here. I'm going to start with this one. I want to start with this. Junji Ito and Yoshiki Fujimoto Tomie collaboration. This is this company always gets me because I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Mamegyorai. I think that's what it's called. It's Mamegyorai. This is a Japanese company, a toy maker. They produce a lot of things over there in Japan. They do a lot of PVC figures, all of that. It's a Japanese company. Now, this is a Tomie. Now, for those who are familiar with who Tomie is, this is $240. This is action figure here. We're going to look at the pictures. Let me look at the pictures going in. Now, Tomie, for those who are familiar, when we're looking about, let me go by the name, Junji Ito. He is a manga creator, very well known in Japan, around the world. Particularly, his character, most iconic character is Tomie, which is a horror character he created succubus, a character that actually is like a vampire type of thing, or a creature, demonic creature in some way, who is a beautiful woman that captivates men just to have them meant to do horrible things, to become violent, kill each other, and women go crazy. He is a horror creator. He has created this manga in the 80s, which is a cult classic. And Tomie is the main character. Also created a series of novels and the whole thing he has created is very popular in Japan. But also movies have been created. I think there's up to, I don't know how many movies. There have been different versions, different movies of this same character. And this has been the most popular character he has ever created. She looks beautiful because that is the reality of her. As you can see in her portrait. Now, I'm not sure this is the first time he has ever done a statue, but the artist here is Yoshiki Fujimoto, who is a very well-known, renowned Japanese artist, sculptor. He does a lot of amazing looking art, amazing figures. So he, with Fujito, who technically I was kind of reading, I went through the website of this company, actually oversaw the production of this statue. And definitely it's not something that I personally like. But I gotta give credit for the really nice job to do this. This is definitely for the horror fan. 10 inches tall. I'm trying to see, as you can see, the horror elements, the very monster elements, the bloody elements. It's not something that's not my cup of tea. As a statue is like, okay, this is horrific. But the job that they did with this one is well done. And this is like the portrait of this character, like you see in the manga. Beautiful portrait, beautiful eyes, and of course has the birthmark under her eye. That's very iconic of her. Very nicely done by one of the best artists in Japan. One of the, he did a fantastic job in bringing this to life. And Saisho now has it. It's definitely, in my opinion, is going to do well. A lot of PVC and ABS. It's going to do well among a lot of, this is like a 1/7, probably a 1/8 scale. But really looks very interesting and bloody, and definitely I would recommend, if you've never seen who Tomie is, you don't know who that character is, if you're into horror, definitely you should check it out. The manga, the original came out in 1980 something, in the 80s, and of course it's been a series of it. It's been popular ever since, and it's very popular, and for many it's not only a cult classic, but it was an icon. Definitely created a trend with horror manga, and most of the horror manga and anime that we see nowadays, many of those creators take inspiration from a lot of stuff that he did create with his work here. A very horrific depiction, but very beautiful indeed, and that is just part of the appeal of Tomie for sure. So yeah, very cool. Another one of those artistic things. Mamegyorai. This company definitely does really interesting stuff for sure. If you go to their website or whatever, they're in Japan, of course, everything in Japanese, but definitely they do very, very interesting stuff. All right, so let me take you back to McFarlane Toys. The reason why we go to, and actually I'm gonna hear McFarlane, I'm gonna present it here. There's 2 new releases. There's 2 that were presented. Let me see if I can go to McFarlane here. We're gonna use actually both pages, the Instagram and also now, there's a few here. Now, I do not know. They released 2 new statues this weekend. Actually, they announced this one right here, which is this is the first look. I'm not sure when this is going to be on pre-order, but this is the first look of the Batman 1/6 scale DC Direct resin statue based on the Dark Knight film. Pre-order launches on May 15. We're gonna know more when that happens. I don't know how much this is going to cost for McFarlane. It's interesting. I would say, based on the prices that they're doing now with the statues, with the DC stuff, I would say that it's going to be around $250. It does have mixed media. You can see on that cape. It's a very unanticipated. I would say the pose itself, I wouldn't expect it to be like that. But it's kind of cool to see still DC Direct producing stuff now on their McFarlane Toys, and it's always nice. It's a welcome thing to see these figures that for a time they were super cheap and $150, now seeing at $250, which is kind of bad. But this is going to release next week, so that's to give you an idea. But the one that we want to cover today is this one. It's $250 actually. This is the Batman 1/6 scale. This is the resin statue based on the artwork of Dan Mora. Dan Mora. He's from Costa Rica, fantastic artist. He's also was doing stuff with Prime1 Studio. I'm not sure some of the stuff they were about to do, they were canceled. But this is a very nice, I will tell you, the sculptor here, and I'm going to go here to McFarlane. Maybe we can get information about who sculpted this. Hopefully. It doesn't really say. It only says that it's based on the artwork of Dan Mora, but who was the sculptor, it doesn't say, which is a bummer. But it's $250 right there. Estimated release time to ship in November. But here, looking at the figure, I like it, man. I'm telling you, this is a very good. You can still also get this at Big Bad Toy Store. Tracy, we can see it there somewhere. I think I passed it. Well, it's here. We know it's here. I know it's here. But the point is this. I will tell you, I like this statue. I think it's perfect. I think the depiction of dance is there. I love the cape. It's a fully sculpted cape. Very nicely done. I liked with the bendy wire like is in midair. It's a fantastic depiction. No doubt about it. It's beautiful. The base, now it's basic. I'm okay with it. I think they went a little wider with the base because the pose and they wanted to sustain it, make it more sustainable for that. My only grip with this one, the only thing I'm not crazy about the statue is that big wrench in the back. That little peg that they added, it looks like like a pet's wrench. It looks so huge. It's a big bar. And I've never been a fan of those type of sticking bars on statues. I think companies can do a better job in hiding them. And they could have done something a lot better to hide it. Or something more simplistic. It just went the simple route because they want to display the statue. But that thing sticking out like a sore thumb, it's just the most horrible thing. And it hurts this piece because, in my opinion, it just looks beautiful as it is. Yeah, that face on that Batman, yeah, Travis, it's beautiful. It's one of the best looking Batman statues that I've seen in the face and the portrait. And I like it. I was like, man, that looks really nice. When I saw it, I was impressed with this Batman. And it looks really, really cool. I just don't know why, to be honest with you, they decide to go with the ugliest thing. You're going to open it right here. It looks good. It's just that thing. And yeah, maybe you can hide it. Maybe it's just, I've never been a fan of any statue. It looks like a cop out to me. Always been when companies do that. Even DC back in the day used to do it all the time. DC, when it was, they managed their own DC Direct line. I never felt it. Like it just looks bad. It just kind of broke the image. It broke the effect. I like it when companies do something, and Sideshow does a lot of things when actually there's something in the bottom sustaining it and creating that effect that he's in doing this, jumping. They did a fantastic job. It's just they went for the cheaper solution to the problem. And I will tell you on this picture here, for example, this is the other one that I want to show you here. Right here. This is the picture that I saw what really kind of broke it for me. That looks bad. Like if you want to display like that and you're gonna see that sticking out like that, it's just like terrible. And how far can they hold it? I don't know. I don't know. It feels that there was a wasted opportunity to do something nicer, more premium looking. Particularly, you're looking for $250. Why not just do something different? Do something not like that. And yes, they want to hold it. They need something sturdy because the way that he's leaning forward and the cape, they don't want that to lean completely. Would that hold it? How strong that is? I'm sure it's strong, but it's an ugly looking display. How they can engineer it better, that is a question that I leave to an engineer, a person that actually manages this, and they have people who actually go through the process when they sculpt. Some sculptors sculpt amazing stuff, but they still need somebody to do the engineering side, and that's where it's left to the pros. That's where you see, for example, and even Sideshow, when they sell something, they say they take the sculptor, the designer, but also the production company or the management or the engineering department or something like that, because you have to have someone that actually tells the artist, hey, that looks cool, but you're gonna encounter this problem, so you need to find a solution where you can hide this joint or you can hide that and make it look more seamless, and that would be great. Just having that big metal peg. It's probably the worst that I've ever seen. You know, and I'm okay sometimes with the one that stick from the foot. I don't like those either, but at least it's more hidden through the leg. They could have done that too here, go all the way up, but they went with this angle to the bag. It's so huge. It's just horrible. That's the only thing, and it hurts me because I love this statue. I think it's amazing. I think that Batman portrait is amazing. The whole, I think it, you know, it looks good. It gives honor to Dan's work, which I think he is a fascinating artist. I think he has a lot of potential. He has a more classic, you know, if you look at Dan's work, he has like a very I would say fine straw, like the draw is very fine. His lines are fine. They're more on the classic side. It's just beautiful. The depiction is very nice. He does amazing looking work. It's not strong. It's well defined. It's more on the classic side. I like it. I like his work. But yeah, this is what it come out. Maybe some people, maybe I'm just, you know, maybe it will grow on me. I don't know. I like it. I think it's a nice looking Batman. The only thing I don't like, of course, is the peg. That's about it. All right, my friends. So we look at that one. Now let me take you to let's go to Spec Fiction. This is gonna be the first time throughout the night that we're gonna go to Spec. And the reason I want to come to Spec, first I want to cover this one right here. Well, actually, before we cover that, let's cover this one. This is Tokyo Revengers. This is Manjiro Sano 1/6 scale statue. I'm not really as familiar with this manga or anime. This is from Akihabara Club. Now, Akihabara Club is Akihabara, of course, is a town in Japan, but Akihabara Club, in my find, this is a French company. That there's a lot of French companies that they're doing, of course. In France, there's a big fan base for anime. You know, anime, for manga. So there's a lot of companies there over there now. It seems like there's a bit growth in the last few years. Companies producing their own products, particularly anything that has to do with manga anime. So this comes from that. This is a very small company. They don't have that many products, but this is probably the second release, or they have a few releases, but they, you know, this is the second one that I know of. But I think I've seen a few other products in Japan. They have products in Asia for sure. It's a very interesting statue, a character that I do not know, but I'm talking about it because I do like the simplicity of it, and it's always good to see these new companies, what they're doing. It's a very museum pose style in some way, with some semi-action pose in the sense of where the way he's standing, bending his knee, all that. Very nice job, very nice paint job. It's simplistic, very simple, but very well done, very nicely done for sure. Nice detail on that base. This vehicle has been destroyed, and again, I do not know much about this one, but this company definitely is doing something very, very interesting. Again, it's a small company. They do have a YouTube channel. I noticed that, a very small YouTube channel. This is the other product they have, the Onizuka Eikichi. This is another statue that they produce. This I've seen before. Very interesting concept, very different. I like with these companies, new companies, they kind of build, they bring their own style to things. And it's kind of cool when they do that. It's something very, very different. And again, this company, if you come, let's say, to YouTube Akihabara Club. Let me see if I can find it. YouTube. It's taking me back. I don't know if I can see it. I've seen it before. Well, Akihabara, of course, this is a, I think it's not a town. I think it's a part of Japan, Tokyo, maybe. It's a neighborhood. It doesn't show there. And therefore, there's some right there. This is the Akihabara. They're talking about this statue. I I saw the channel someplace, but oh, I know why. It's probably combined. I'm trying to find it, but for some reason it's not coming up. It's not coming up. Well, in any case, it's a very small channel. They don't have much going on. I tried to find their Facebook. I couldn't find it, which sucks. But yeah, I noticed their products that they're selling. Definitely, there's a company that is still in development. One day, maybe we'll find. Oh, I know why I was misspelling it. Let me go back. The reason why I want to show you is because right there, Akihabara Club. This is the company. Only 26 subscribers. They only have a short where they showcase that one, and they have an episode within the year. Technically, there's not even a year. They have a vlog or showcasing their product, but they're French. They're based in France, so that's another small company. Keep an eye on them. This is their website here. Let's see if it's active. Right there, that's the website. Of course, in French, and this is the second product. So this is technically their second product. And definitely interesting, you know, kind of give an idea to see this company's kind of building reputation, developing things. That's kind of cool. All right, my friends. So that was it. Now there is another, I want to take you to Sideshow. And I want to take you to Sideshow. All right, so actually, I need to take a quick break. And I come back because we still got some stuff. We still have to talk about Dream Figures, you know, have other companies to talk about, but I want to come back and just need to take a break quickly. And I'll be right back. But I want to say thank you to all. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate the support. Thank you always, every person. Eddie, thank you. Adam, Travis, all of you, everyone that is watching. Just give me a few and I'll be right back.
When we're on Mulholland Drive, I know it won't be long before dawn. Gotta be patient for a while. Someday we'll look at stars in the same sky. When I'm on the other side. Take me back to the life that we once knew, when the walls weren't closing in like they are now. 'Cause it's been too many years since California. I wish I could get there, I don't know how. See, one day I'm gonna reach ya, take a plane for many miles. We pretend that time didn't pass us by when we're on Mulholland Drive. I know it won't be long before dawn. Gotta be patient for a while. Someday we'll look at stars in the same sky. When I'm on the other side.
The channel helps me to keep building this or give more bring back, because everything that you give, whatever I get out of this, I put it back into this channel. Always. It's always been. All right, my friends. So we're back into the stuff. And I want to continue. We're with statues. Of course, we cover a good ground now. But I want to take you back. Let's go to here at Sideshow. We're back here. I want to talk about a new product. Actually, no. Yeah. I'm totally lost here. Sorry. It's Spec Fiction. Sorry for that. Sorry that I had to bring you around. But it's Spec Fiction. I want to cover a new company here. We were here. I want to talk about... We're not a company. We had to talk about them before. Revive Studio. They have a new 1/6 scale statue. This is for the Samurai Showdown fan out there, fans. I am a big Samurai Showdown fan. I grew up with in the arcade scene playing these video games. I love the Neo Geo era. And of course, I love Samurai Showdown up to this day. One of my favorite fighting gaming franchises of all time. $649 for Ukyo. Ukyo has always been very popular among statue collectors, among statue makers. And this is another great addition. You know, this is mostly based on the newest game. I love that game too. And I love the detail on this one. He's of course using his sword, and you can see the cuts in the air, which is a very cool way to represent it. I love the tree. Is it fully sculpted? That's what I'm trying to see, or that's a mixed media in it. It looks fine, man. It looks so good. This is a very artistic rendition of the character. I love, as you can see, the translucent resin on the bottom, like he's on. There's water there. That is very, very cool. There's some fishes there. He is in some type of Japanese garden. You know, I'm sure the tree has been cut. The, lantern in the back. It's such a beautiful rendition of Ukyo. I just like it. They did a really nice job with it. It's as a 1/6. It has a lot of detail. Like, it's huge. It's tall because of the tree. And even there's some, like, he cut the apple right there. Now I noticed the apple as he does in the video game. Wow. It's a cool rendition, man. I'm telling you, it's even with the cuts and the blue and all that, it can seem busy, but it kind of plays the part. It does it really nice. Very nice depiction of Ukyo for sure. Another one, $649. I think it's a fair price for the sheer size of everything here. This is going to have 199 pieces. Here is a video from YouTube. Maybe we can see from Revive Studio. Maybe it's kind of small. I don't know if you can see it well. You see the water effect there. The little fish in this little pond, Japanese garden. Very cool. Nice detail. I don't know if it's a LiDAR feature on that little thing, but nicely done. That is a very, very cool. Very nice, man. This is one of my favorite pieces of this week. I will tell you this. Very well done. Look at the detail on that water. That is an artistry there. And of course, we have talked about Hamaru before. Very nice what they're doing here for sure. But when you look at Revive Studio, they do amazing work for sure. Very nice detail. Very a lot of Neo Geo stuff for sure. But they have other things also, as you can see, for other franchises. Where there's a Street Fighter, which is coming soon. There's a lot of stuff that's coming very soon. That you got the stuff from, of course, from Naruto. The Neo Geo stuff that's coming soon. So there's a lot of stuff from this company that is coming very soon. That you definitely we need to pay attention to this company. This King of Fighters 97. So there is a lot of great things coming from this company. So I will recommend anyone to keep an eye on Revive Studio. Definitely a company that has a lot of potential for sure. So that's it. Now I want to take you to Sideshow, because now Sideshow's carrying Dream Figures, and Dream Figures, they release different things this week. They got this Dead Dealer quarter scale statue, but we're not gonna cover. We already talked about it. They had it. I think it was last week or the week before Spec Fiction. So now it's available at Sideshow. For those who are fans of that one, $180. Now, the one I want to cover today here is this Morrigan and Lilith. This is a 1/6 scale statue. $704 for this one. Very cool. Let's see if we have some details about the artist. Sometimes they offer that here for other companies. They normally do it for their own products, Sideshow, but not necessarily for others. But here, now we look at this statue. I think I covered it before. He has this moon in the background. Of course, this is based on the cover art, one of the arts that was promotional arts from Darkstalkers 3. And I think they did a fantastic job in really recreating that scene. Even that has a light-up feature that looks really nice. Lilith and Morrigan, of course, in this pose, representing two halves of the moon in some way. The light-up feature in the back. That is, and there's a Morrigan statue that is coming from First for Figures next week, which looks really nice. We're gonna have to cover next week. Here's Lilith. And it looks really nice with the detail, with the light up and everything, the background. Definitely, this is for the hardcore fan of Darkstalkers. If you're a big fan of them, if you want a representation, there's been many representations of Morrigan, a lot of amazing ones. But definitely, this is, in my opinion, for the hardcore fan is familiar with the art, with the different covers and posters and, you know, things like that. So I definitely think going for that one. The light up feature is a nice touch. Very unique and different. I think that's probably the highlight of this one. And definitely there's some assets there. You can see Lilith's assets sticking out. But that is definitely a nice thing. And again, Dream Figures now being carried by... they've been carried for a little bit. They produce all sort of things. They have produced a couple of things. They, you know, Spec Fiction, for example, we have talked about him when we are here. Normally you look at Dream Figures. Here you can see they do cover a lot of stuff from them. That dealer, for example, but let me see this one right here. Here you can see it's already on the wait list. I think I covered it before. I covered that before here in the channel, but that's just to give you an idea of what they're doing. It looks great. It's available at Sideshow, so if you missed out even in other places, this is a place to come. Sideshow has it now, so definitely you can check there. All right, so now I want to cover, as we are in here at Sideshow, I want to talk about another company, Manasum. This company does a lot of partnerships with different artists and produces their art or their style or whatever they have. And Manasum did this week, let's see, they have two releases here at Sideshow when I covered them, but they do have a release here at Spec Fiction. I'm trying to get some stuff here done. Getting the music, it was a bit too loud even in my ears, so I try to lower it down. It's not intrusive. All right, so here there's this another product. This is from Manasum. Manasum, we had a couple of things that I was actually going to look at them today, but the one I want to cover today here at Spec Fiction is the Jujutsu Kaisen, Junji Itadori and Kusigaki Novara Black Flash 1/6 scale statue, $669. Manasum does a lot of different things, and I think this is this is more on the commercial side. We're dealing with a franchise that is more established, and here you can see the different effects of this. They do have in this. You can see the detail in those statues. Recreating the powers they have. Very cool. This is a very interesting depiction, although it's more stylized because this things that you see on top, that is actually not part of it. The little lightnings of red that is just adding to something they already have. It's a very cool, very frontal piece, the way it's depicted. It's an action pose, a battle pose, and they're both going strong. And there's even the smoke effect, which is kind of cool. It does have a nice effect of a lot of action in some way. It's a very nice detail. You know, sometimes when I talk about a lot of these pieces, when there's so much stuff going on, they get too busy. But sometimes companies have to measure it in a way that everything is more visually pleasing. I think they managed to do this well on this one here. Because, yeah, there's the effect of the power, but it's not all over the place, as you can see. It's well integrated into the piece. It still allows for the pieces to be frontal, central pieces. Like, for example, with him, you can see his portrait. With her in the background, you still can see her portrait well done. Nothing above her that is intruding on the to visualizing the action of what they're doing. The interchangeable parts too. I think the effects they're doing an action pose there in battle. I think it's well applied. So Manasum did a fantastic job in really recreating the artist here. Whoever was the artist on this did a fantastic job in recreating this scene. It looks really well done, well executed from every angle. Very nice action. Very well done. It's a nice picture with some lighting effect there. The smoke in the background. This is how you do action poses. This is how you do them. And of course, there's like you can see a light up, I think, in the base, which adds more. It's a cool effect. Although it would be nice to have some type of light up also on those, on the red things, you know, and the little power effects or those clear resin would be nice too, to have some type of light up there. But this is what Manasum is, you know, having here at the Spec Fiction. Very interesting. If you're a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, then definitely go for this one. Very, very cool. But now at Sideshow, Jujutsu Kaisen, Manasum, released two different pieces that are very, very interesting. I'm gonna look at this Kotadama Sum Edition. Very artistic style. There's two different versions of this. It's an artisan edition, which is this one right here with 88 pieces, $380 for this one, I think. Not exactly, I don't know what the difference is. This is a more darker tone. And this is something that this company does, a very artistic, more detail, more on the indie side of things too. That's what Manasum does. Here on this one, Dimension 6.7 is a very tiny one, but then you look at this one right here. This is the collector's edition, all limited to 88. This is a beautiful depiction of this in this particular art. I don't know. Let's see. Let me look before we look at the pictures. There's any detail here. Kotadama refers to the Japanese belief that mystical powers dwell in words and names. It also means soul of language or power of language. Masato believes the words have a life on their own and can fly to spread. For different people, they can bring redemption or deadly harm. May there be fewer hurtful words in the world and more warm words to save others. Creating the artwork Kotadama went very smoothly, almost seamlessly from a conception to completion. This is one of Masato Ohara's favorite work. Okay, so Kotadama technically is the artist who created this under the auspice of Manasum. Manasum, of course, again, works with all different artists. And this is the artist that was involved in this production. You saw the other one that is on the darker tone. This has more light in it. It's a very nice depiction. Not a huge statue. It's only 6.7 inches tall. But it's such a well done piece. Very artistically designed. It's a beautiful depiction. Very artsy. And here you can see the cover that you can put on top of it versus the other one that's more on the darker side. This has hope. The other one is darker for sure. So there's two different versions, two sides of the same coin. One is hopeful, the other one is on the darker side. The same thing, cover, although we didn't see her face. I'm not sure if you can uncover her face. It might be the same thing, although we didn't see it there. But that's what Kotadama, the artist, he did the work under the, you know, Manasum is the one producing it, but the artist did here. There's another artist here. This is for this Android 4th, also available with Spec Fiction. We're gonna read the information. This is a quarter scale, if I'm not mistaken. Kei has been interested in human body art for a long time. Influenced by artists such as Gus Rodin and Francis Bacon, he has always been fascinated by the theme of mechanics and young girls. When he wanted to create the freely and express vitality and creativity, that's Kei. That's the name of the artist, and Manasum, of course, is again producing it. It was natural for him to integrate these two elements. Apart from exploring the aesthetics of the human body itself, Kai's or whatever artistic creation also reflect his interpretation of hot topics such as artificial intelligence, cyborgs, and eternal coexistence, while also arousing our attention to futurism. Kei has expressed a great interest in the question of why we are alive and hopes to explore this theme through the relationship between machinery and flesh. So this is what he created, limited to 150. It's an interesting concept, definitely not for everyone. This is for people who like unique things, very stylized, very, you know, like nowadays, of course, the theme of AI is so ever present in everything we do. So the artist exploring some of those elements of robotic future, something that has always been part of the cyberpunk elements in manga and Japanese culture and all the things that we enjoy in modern times. So this is a beautiful depiction of this girl, an android, robotic elements, of course, artificial or human. As something that is very intrinsical in Japanese culture and that you see in a lot of manga. It's about where does life end or where does it start? The existence of our lives. Are we robots? Are we machines? What are we? You know, the question about humanity. We're biological machines. So there's so much stuff that the Japanese kind of presents that. Of course, this is what the artist is expressing. And that's one thing I would say about Mana. Some of the stuff they do on the commercial side, but also they support artists into more unique things that they want to produce. And Mana, this conglomerate of artists or things, helps all these artists to put out there the art. And it's a great thing. And I'm glad that Sideshows now carry Mana. It's good because I think there's an opportunity for a lot of artists to be recognized and to have a bigger platform as Sideshow is nowadays, for more products to be known, for people to know these products. So kudos to them for doing such an amazing job. Very cool what Mana did this week, so kudos to them for all of that. Now let me take you back to Spec Fiction. And we go back to Spec Fiction because there's another product that I want to talk about that was released this week. Is this one right here. It's now on the wait list. It's available in some other stores you can find online. I saw a few. This is the Jomatal. This is the studio, Jomatal Studio. And this is based on the Azur Lane, the Chinese video game that is also a mobile game. This is, if you're, you know, the little shooter game. Enterprise, that is the name of this character. The play shooters that you know, very cool. I've played these games. So this is one of the characters there, Enterprise. It's a very cool one, a very sexy looking statue, quarter scale. The price for this one, it doesn't show right now, but it was around, like, I would say the 700 mark or something, or 800, something like that, if I remember well. We might be able to find it. Beautiful depiction of Enterprise for sure. It has the nice eagle in the background right there on the top, the bald eagle, and then of course the water effect and the ship and all that. Very cool game. For those who have never played, I recommend it. There's very nice detail. Now they do this thing with you can move the photographs, all that. Interesting concept with the planes there and the ship, of course. Very nice detail from Jomatal. Cool detail there. I think the best part in this statue, there's a lot of things there, a lot of elements, but it doesn't miss the point of what you're trying to represent, which in the end is the character, and she looks fantastic there. Definitely the assets are there, which is, she's a sexy looking figure, character anyway. So they represented that really, really well. So Jomatal did a fantastic job in really bringing this up. A lot of companies in Asia are doing amazing work trying to represent things. And for those who are familiar with Jomatal, they do a lot of stuff with female characters. They do a fantastic job with females. They did this one, Make Sure No 16, which is fantastic in my opinion. They also did the J Dynasty. This is another one that is on pre-order, $869 for this one. Another beautiful statue. This company definitely does really interesting concept. Look at this, how tall it is, and the representation there, and the dragons and the buildings at the bottom. It's such a majestic piece for sure. And Jomatal definitely is doing a really nice job. The price, I think, for the beauty of these pieces is fine. Definitely Make Sure and for, just to give you an idea of this one, is another beautiful piece. This company, I haven't really talked about them too. It's another great company. A lot of these companies, they work together, like Revive Studio. This is a Lido feature. There are many, sometimes they are even the same company. Most of these products are produced in the same factories anyway. But sometimes the studios, there's so many different studios working so many different things. And they'll know most of the time they're the same studio. Look at that effect of that water. Very nice. And that, of course, the effect with the house there. The pagoda, whatever. But, of course, it has the force view. It still looks good, you know, like even small like that, because at the end of the day, she is the center of attention. And the same they're doing here with Azur Lane with that. Something that I see that this company is doing, create that force effect. It looks really nice. Very nice. Like I give it a sewer lane. Can you kind of give you an idea of this character? Here is an image of her with the ship, all that. So they went for this art to represent her, as you can see. And I think they did a fantastic job in representing her with this, bringing it to life. And actually, I like the way they designed it. The only thing I would complain is perhaps that she's smiling here and the other one's very more serious on the statue. But overall, they did a really nice job in bringing her to life in some of the art that has been represented for her. So I think it's very, very cool for the art. They definitely represented the art with the ship and everything the way it's supposed to be done. And they did a really nice job in bringing her to life. So yeah, if you haven't played this game, I recommend it. This is a very nice statue. And Jomatal did a really nice job with this one. Perfect piece. Representation of her, has nothing to complain about it. So yeah, cool. So this is what Jomatal did here. All right, my friends. Now let's go to talk to Prime1 Studio. And let me look while we go there. Let me see that there's any notes here, because I've been kind of so concentrating on what I'm doing that I kind of lost track of things. But I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for being here. All right, so we're here at Prime1 Studio. Prime1 Studio, of course, has the new product this week, and there are two products. If you're a fan, of course, of Prime1 Studio, you're a fan of Horizon Forbidden West. This is one of my favorite pieces that was showcased at the most recent showcase that was presented there. It's one of my top 10. I talk about it in my top 10 pieces that I really love there. This is one of them. And there's two. They released the Close Strider and they released Alloy. Now let's start first with Alloy, then we go to Close Strider. Alloy, it's surprising to me that with Alloy they decided to actually release what I thought would be the exclusive as the main one, and the bonus version is the regular face, which is kind of like the opposite. In some way, I think they're trying to force your hand to go and order the bonus version. You can still find it at Sideshow. If you come to Sideshow, they do have both versions, which is good. That's another option. They have the bonus version and they got the regular one. So $200 more for the bonus version. But I think they're forcing your hand to go for that, to pre-order soon, so you don't miss out on the bonus, because it has the regular portrait, which in my opinion should be the normal, the regular. But this is the 10 Dragon Armor Set bonus version. Looking at the pictures, I like the color. I know some people, I even heard some people they left some comments on my channel saying, are they gonna grab two? I don't know why. But, you know, some people may have the means for it. Who knows? But this is a beautiful... So the bonus version is just a regular face in the video game. That is the bonus part. That's the swappable part. You get this extra portrait. I like the way they put the little base to hold it. It's limited to 1,000 pieces for the regular one. I like the bonus. I would assume that should be the normal one to sell, that they sell, but that is actually the bonus. So make no mistake, if you really want this piece and you want to have the two portraits, this is... you know, the one that in my opinion should be the normal, then you got to go for the bonus. You have to order before it sells out. Although they have 1,000 pieces, so they have a big number to sell. So I'm sure they will do it, because you know Horizon is very popular, and I think that's a beautiful piece. And a lot of people are gonna go for it. But yeah, fantastic job on this one. Very cool. The detail on her is fascinating. It's fantastic. Her hair, her clothing. The sculpt is so well done. Even though it's a resin statue, the resin looks kind of lifelike. The skin looks lifelike, which is great. What gives it away, of course, when you get really close, you can see, of course, that is resin hair. But by all means, it looks great. Again, look at this stand for the bonus portrait. Very nicely done. Very cool. Still with the art. But this is, again, this is the, as you can see with this cloth, with this, you know, with the paint job in her face, the painted face, all of that is actually the regular version. So it still looks good, man. They both look great. You got the swappable parts, you got LED illumination in the base, which is great. Very nice detail. I think for the price, which is expensive, of course, it's still a beautiful depiction. It's a beautiful piece. Very nicely done, very well done. I think you can change the light up feature in blue and yellow. Yeah, you can. You can have different light ups, or I don't know if it's kind of like intermittent and it changes colors. I don't know if there's options there. I can see in a moment in the notes. But the detail, the foliage too there, the base with that vanquish creature, you know, the creatures of Horizon Forbidden West, the game, the creatures there, of course, are robotic and partial. It's cool. Very nicely done. There's even some water there splashing there. Very cool detail. And of course, this one we're gonna look at it in just a moment too. That is gonna be the companion in this battle that they're representing both. That thing that is gonna be such a fascinating diorama to have. Very cool. Very nice detail. Nice hair. From every angle, this is a very beautiful piece. I don't know if you have played the game. I haven't played this one yet. I haven't even finished the first one. But I do love this game. I think it's really fascinating. I think the whole franchise is very nice. Very cool. This is the part where I love female characters. You know, I love strong female characters, particularly when they're on their own universe. You know, like, I think that's when sometimes people say that there's not enough representation of female characters. There are, and there are good ones out there. You know, like this is one of them. Look at that. This is crap. I didn't notice that. Very cool. Very nice detail on the foliage on that tree. There's, oh, look at that. It's another one. Those are really nice details that Prime1 does. Little elements that bring so much beauty to a piece. You know, like this is the ultimate representation of, I think, Horizon. Of course, we saw the one from Dark Horse Comics, which looks fantastic, by the way, but it's smaller. But this is this takes it to another level, really. Very well done. Definitely, I think it's gonna do well. One of the best pieces they have created for sure for this collection, counting all the ones that they did for the previous video game, for the whole franchise, the Horizon franchise. Very well done. Very nice. Now, let me look at some of the details here on this. You get, of course, the statue, approximately 27 inches tall. Your swappable pair of arms and weapons. One swappable pair of arms and weapons. Spear, hail, okay. Two swappable blue and yellow eyes. Okay, so they're swappable? They're not... What did that mean? Talking about the one at the bottom, is it swappable? How you swap it? Or you can change the colors. Maybe they didn't pronounce it right. It's not swappable, but you cannot just change the piece and just add another one. Maybe you interchangeable colors. You can change the color. Two swappable blue eye, yellow eyes, LED illuminated eyes. So they're illuminated. I think they're not removable. I think they just kind of misquoted. Whoever wrote this didn't, you know, it makes no sense. You're not taking the eyes out. I don't think so. But yeah, you can change some certain parts. So it looks great. But by all means, it looks great. I think they did a fantastic job with it. Really cool. How it's going to be powered with batteries, he doesn't say. That's something that they should have noticed there. Is it going to be charged with a charger? It doesn't say either. Whatever. But this is what we have there. Now the next piece they have is this one. It's the companion to the Close Strider. 750. It's going to be more limited because not everybody's going to do it. So as you can see, the other one is 1,000 pieces. This is also the bonus version. It's bonus. I think there's no different or one regular one, but this is the Close Strider. Not everybody's gonna go for it, but if someone wants the ultimate depiction of this battle diorama, then definitely you got to go for this one. Now this one is limited to 750 pieces for the bonus version. It comes with this you know, this little base name tag, nameplate thing that you can add on to it. That is necessary. Cool. You can actually remove it, which is actually a cool idea because sometimes people don't like those type of things. It's cool when they do things like that. Prime1 really put some quality in their game and stuff. Love to see much movement. Yeah, me too. It looks so alive, you know, like the whole thing, the base itself, it looks like it's alive. It looks like there's action, you know, there's so much stuff happening there with the little, you know, the little animals, little crabs in there, the water effect, the foliage, all of that creates a very epic scene. with so much detail. This one, the LED illumination also changes from red to blue, which is great. And actually there, I can see that they're actually removable. Here you can see, so the same happens with the other one. So yeah, they're swappable light parts. So actually it makes it, so technically they are right and I'm wrong, because I can see that even without the lights, this one looks red, and without the light, that looks blue. So I'm not sure how you remove it. There's a part that you remove the head as a whole in order to change the colors, which is kind of strange. Probably we'll see more at some point, but in any case, it looks really nice. This one has more foliage. It's wider, of course. It's a big animal, a big creature, but it was depicted in a way where actually even the tail is not protruding. It's not extended, which actually by that time you're limiting your space for display. So they went the smart route by just doing it that way. He's technically going around it. He's actually about to jump, you know, that's the effect. And he's about to fight, you know, so it looks good. Very cool looking piece. Very nice detail. Very nice base. The relics look great, and definitely love the detail on the different parts of the creature. It's going to be such an outstanding battle between those two. It's gonna look great. It looks great as it is. Both pieces together look fantastic. Very well done. Another nice piece for sure. And here also it has some crafts in there too, kind of following the same theme as Alloy, but it looks really, really cool. Very nice. There you can see more of that. Plants, fully sculpted plants, really nice. Love the water effect there. And this small leaves attached to the rock formation. This ruins. Very cool. They did a fantastic job with this one for sure. Very nice. So yeah, I would say so. They did a really nice job with this one. LED illumination. Very cool. Polystone and other materials. Very nice. The bonus version. So yeah, I would say Prime1 Studio again killing it with these pieces. They're doing a fantastic job. Both are fantastic. They really look great. And what can I say? This company continues to impress. This is definitely one of the highlights for me at the showcase, the most recent one. But definitely, it really shows what this company does. They do amazing work for sure. And their work is always on point. So yeah, I would say Prime1 Studio did another killer with this one. Kudos to them for doing a fantastic job on this one. Now, let's move to the next company. Here, I want to take you... Actually, we're going to be here at... Maybe we can do a PCS. Premium Collectibles Studio. I don't know if they have it there. If not, we're going to go to Sideshow. But they release... This week... They had this product here. Actually, there's two variants of this one, if I'm not mistaken. If you're a Michael Jordan fan, then here you have this. There's two variants of this piece. There is this one, which is exclusive only to the PCS website, or you can get just the one that is available everywhere else. Here you can see this is for the fans of Michael Jordan. This is a life-size Michael Jordan bus. I will tell you, first thing, what the heck is Premium? What the heck is PCS thinking? Why did they have to choose this pose with extended arms? And yes, it's an iconic pose, whatever, a scene or whatever with him. But why do they have to do it like that? You know, at that extension being life-size, it's not only like you have this statue, you're killing the space for two more statues on the side, because on here in this space you can have another bus or another statue, and this other side you can have another bus, another statue. Now you're having one for the price, you know, you have one technically for the price of three. Yeah, the price of three, because it's sacrificing space that you could use for other display. I don't know why was the thinking about this with Prime, you know, with PCS. Yeah, I know that they want to be cool and all. They want to be like extra and edgy by doing something that nobody else does. But why you have to shoot yourself on the foot like this and having a bust like this where now you sacrifice so much space just to have a life size? It's not even as small. It's like a quarter scale or a third scale. It's a full size that is already killing you in space. You know, we already have a problem with height of things. Now you're gonna make it also with the width of things. It just don't understand it. And of course, this is the exclusive, so it has the classic Red Bulls you know, jersey, which in my opinion is the best. Looks great, you know, the portrait looks great. And how good it's going to be, that's to be disclosed. You know, that depends, because sometimes, you know, the likeness with PCS is not like, we're not talking about Blizzwig type of likeness. And it's kind of cool, man. But why couldn't just simply have them holding the ball, you know, ready to shoot or something like this, where he's close to his body? But they went for this. I don't know. Like, yeah, like I saw it, I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, you can come to here and you get a discount, or you come there, you get the gloves, you know, you get the, you know, the plaque, you get the ticket, so you can get more discounts. But look at this. Look at this. 85 inches wide, 32 inches in height, 14 inches in depth. Those 85 inches are killer in my opinion. I don't know your opinion. I don't know what you think about it, my friends. But to me, that's just the dumbest thing ever. You know, I like Michael Jordan. I think they've been doing amazing work with them. Likeness is there. Hopefully the product, you know, the final product also comes with it. Is the jersey a real jersey, or is it, you know, sculpted? It should be real. It's a nice, you know, nice paint job. It looks like natural, you know, skin. The ball looks not. I don't know if it says Spalding. It should say Spalding somewhere, at least for the price you're paying, because the price of this is super expensive too. That's another thing, because I think it's because it's a Michael Jordan product. But look at the price. That's another thing that kills it for me, is the price. And yeah, I understand this $3,000. I understand some people, you know, we're talking about last week about Yadro, for example, with that Batman statue for $3,000. There's always gonna be a market for things. You know, people gonna buy it. But Yadro is known for that. PCS is now known for this, you know, for selling a bus like this, going for life-size bus with Michael Jordan. They're not a bus maker. So they go now into bus, and they start like super high with the price. I think, you know, they need to chill out. I think PCS needs to chill out. And they need to kind of rethink that. I'm not sure how much reception. I don't have as many people talking about it. But I think, again, this is the Wings buzz. This is the other, or the one that you're also gonna see at Sideshow and everywhere else. Still nice. Yeah, that's a jersey. Not sculpted. I just don't get it. I don't know what they were thinking about creating this post like this. It's you know, I love Jordan. You know, I love Michael. You know, Big Mike was definitely the guy. Growing when I was in the 90s, you know, like loved to watch him. I loved the, you know, the Bulls. It was an era. Everybody knows that was the best era of basketball. You know, the people can say that prior to it, it was. Yes, it was. But it was the 90s was a particular era for basketball, you know, and the NBA was, you got all the superstars there. Of course, the dream team, you know, that's pretty much what you remember. And Jordan was just a star. But yeah, it looks good. Life size, release October, December. I still find it too expensive, man. They could have just go something, you know, even if at that price, I'm okay with the price. I can deal with the price. My only thing that I'm going to complain with this definitely is going to be why they went with this post, which limits where you're going to display it. Where are you going to display such a thing? Only if you have a dedicated room just for sports memorabilia, then definitely that's where it's going to fit. For a museum, you know, museums that have Jordan there, that's gonna fit in. But for a regular collector, which the vast majority of premium collectible studio collectors are, it's going to be just a small number, just a small fraction of people are gonna go for it. Not everyone is going to have something that had such a wingspan, that has such a wide wingspan. You know, it's just too much. It's taking too much real estate, too much valuable space to display other bus. With that space, you can have 3 bus, life-size bus, instead of just having one and limiting the rest. You know, like, and then you have a big empty space on the wall. There's nothing but just the arms extended. So yeah, dumb in my opinion. That was a dumb decision, but whatever. I'm not the artist there. I'm not the one to make the decision about what's best or what's not. But yeah, Good luck with them. Good luck to PCS. I love PCS as a company. They do amazing stuff. This poster just doesn't do it for me. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about, and also let me actually take you to Spec Fiction. I want to talk actually about Tamashii Nation. Now, Tamashii Nation is actually here at Sideshow first and foremost. Release something. This little Super Saiyan Son Gohan. We're gonna actually with this one. You know, it's kind of cool. Again, Sideshow's releasing and selling all kind of things. This is a small little, you know, diorama piece. Very interesting that Tamashii Nation is getting also heavy into more statues. This one is made out of, I think it's PVC ABS. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, ABS, PVC. It's just a classic figurine that they have. Team Tamashii Nation is getting into the figurine market because there's a lot of money to be made in the figurine market into the statue. 7.9 inches tall. Gohan, Super Saiyan 2. Little Cell guys. That's kind of cool. So this is something now. You can find it anywhere. I saw it also Big Bad Toy Store, $120. The reason why I'm taking you to talk about is, you know, in this case, them. They just released this one, which is also on, I saw it in Big Bad Toy Store, and it went straight into the wait list. The pre-order sold out. Tamashii Nation is getting into more, not only doing statues, also they're doing life-size replicas, and they did this Legend of Zelda Master Sword Proplica, let's call it that. That's what they call it by Tamashii Nation. This is replica, that's what it is. This is a replica of the sword. If you're, of course, a fan of Zelda, they have this sold out immediately. Like, it was the sold out like that. You know, people were right away. There's a lot of Zelda fans out there. They love this stuff. This Proplica, oh, that's what it's called. So that is a new line that they're selling now. I suppose Tamashii Nations, they're selling this type of replicas. They call it Proplicas. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure exactly what materials he has. It's just pure plastic, to be honest with you. But it has really nice detail. The sheet, the sword looks great. And it's kind of neat that they're doing that. Very cool. It's weight listed here. It's a Master Sword replica. It has a sheet display stand set. It's actually made out of ABS, so it's plastic. It's more for looks. I was looking at Big Bad Toy Store. Right there, they have done like other things. So this, like you can see, Bandai Spirits, Tamashii Nation, same company. They have the Sailor Moon Proplica transformation thing. They also have other sword for Demon Slayer. Normally, this is the price they do for the swords, Demon Slayer swords. So these are things that they do, like Demon Slayer there. Now let's see if I can find it. Right there, Bandai Spirits. This is here, $200 for this. This one sold out right away. It was like right away. People were like, okay, this is what we want. This is what I want. So I'm not sure where else you can go. You know, where to find it. I'm sure it's gonna be some other places, but definitely it's kind of interesting to see what Bandai is doing. Of course, Bandai does a lot of different things. You can see all the pre-order stuff that they have, all the different toys. They have so many different lines. They carry so much stuff and figures. Not everything is a winner in my opinion, but that's cool. Interesting for fans of Zelda. I'm a fan of Zelda, so definitely very interesting. I'm not like the hardcore fan of Zelda. I love the games, but I never finish them because I never finish almost anything that takes too long. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Interesting to see what they have done here. Very, 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 very cool. So yeah, that is another thing. Sold out, but if you can find it anywhere, very cool. Right away, it was sold out here. Right away was sold out there at Spec Fiction. Okay, so let me take you back here. Let me drink something because this is it. This is the end of the road. The end of the rope. Let me drink some water and then I can give you my final thoughts. Ooh, this is very, very, very good. All right, my friends. Now you're coming to the end of the video. I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. Those who are watching now, thank you for your support. Thank you for taking the time to be here with me. It's always appreciated. It's always, I love to do this. I don't get paid to do this, but I still do it. I do it for fun. I do it because I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to you. You're my friends. I enjoy really discussing the collectibles world. All kind of them. Would it be better if I only talk about certain products? Yeah, perhaps. You know, maybe if I only concentrate on one thing, maybe I'll be more niche and people will kind of love that. But I'm not the type of person that only talks about one particular thing, because it's not me. It's not my personality. It's not who I am. Never been, and will never be. I will never be the type of person that only sticks to one thing. I love so many things. Pop culture, I'm a geek. I love a lot of things. I'm a reader, love comics, love manga, anime. I love to talk about, you know, the 80s. I love to talk about the 90s. I talk about like the 70s shows, classic comics, you know, modern comics, you know, movies, you know, it just, I love it all. You know, I have no issue, with a lot of things. And I'm always fascinated by the products that companies are selling. And there's so many great companies out there. Yes, as we were talking earlier about, there's some things happening in Asia that affects the whole market, you know, and there's delays, and that's something that you have to be used to. I will tell any customer, any person here, hey, how you doing? Thank you, Late Night. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. But I would say one thing, that the market, it's so different and that it used to be. You know, back in the day, like we're talking about 20 years, 15, 20, 10 years ago, there were a lot of things. This market was not full of companies. There were so many different companies. And, you know, but they were all like separated from each other in the sense that one company was handling this, another company was handling that. It was simpler times, you know, and there was not a big community as it is now. Now it's bigger than ever. And social media has such an impact in the way we do things. You know, Facebook groups are huge. Back in the day, if you want to talk to collectors, you had to go to forums, and forums was the only place to hang out with, you know, with people, to meet people that you didn't know personally. But now with social media, you get to know I was going through my list this week of all the groups that I'm a member of, and I'm a member of like so many groups I lost count on, and I need to start kind of like probably deleting some of those groups because some of them are defunct, or nobody's acting, or I just don't care much about what they're talking about, or people are always just in masses there, or they're always crying, or they're always complaining. I just feel that I go in the other direction, and there's so much garbage too, but there's so much community now everywhere. You know, a new company, there's like 3 or 4 groups just for that company, 3 or 4 or 5 or more. And there's groups that are just dedicated to spread positivity, while others are just dedicated to spread negativity. And there's the ones in between. And there's there's so much stuff. And there's so many voices, to the point that you feel that sometimes you're in this chamber where there's so much noise, so much as white noise and so much background noise, that it's hard to really concentrate on what is right and what is wrong. So sometimes we're pushed into believing one thing or the other because, you know, this person said it, or because this person on YouTube saying it. So we become so in tune with that, and it's hard to break free of that. It's important that we keep our eyes cool, you know, our eyes fixed, and, you know, our minds cool into actually what we are here for. The reason why I'm a collector is not because I watch videos on YouTube. The reason why I became a collector is because I wanted to make a YouTube channel. The reason why I became a collector is not because, you know, I made friends on Facebook or Instagram groups, you know, like whatever. It's not the reason I'm here. I'm here because I love this. I'm passionate about the things that I love. I've been doing it way before Facebook groups was a thing, way before YouTube was a thing. I've been doing it for a long time. And I feel that people should actually concentrate on that. You know, what is the reason you're a collector? You're a collector because you are making friends? Are you a collector because you're trying to prove a point? Because you want to be the biggest badass there is? You know, there's so many reasons why people want to be collectors. Or are you doing it because it's for you? It's for fun. It's for, you know, something that you're building yourself, something besides everything else you do in your life, be that work, life, family, all the extra stuff of life, you're doing it for yourself. That should be the goal. The goal should always be doing it for yourself. And understand that this, like everything in life, there is challenges. It's not a perfect thing. It's not a perfect ride. It's not all popsicles and cream soda. It's a lot of things that happen, you know, in this. You know, there's a lot of upheavals. There's good moments, there's bad moments. Companies go down, go up. You know, some lines never finish. And there's so much that you got to take with, you know, and just had to learn to deal with it and live with it. You cannot control it. Nothing in life can be controlled. You cannot control the politics of the nations. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control even your family. You cannot even control what your kids are going to do or your spouse is going to do. You cannot control even how you're going to wake up in the morning if you're going to feel healthy. You cannot control your health. You know, something that I've learned the hard way. I cannot control so many things. So I have to kind of be at peace with it. Like everything else in life, if I have no peace in my life, I'm definitely not going to have peace in this hobby. And this hobby is not going to give me peace. The only source of peace that I have in my life that I have come to know is my relationship with God. That's it. That's the reason why I always see God bless you here. Because the only thing that brings me peace is my relationship with God. Not this hobby, not even my spouse, not even my family, not even my job. None of those things give me peace. Not even the money in the bank. When I have peace in my heart, then everything else goes smooth. And I could care less if a company goes out of business. It's life. It happens. Just move along. You know, I have tried things that didn't work out. I'm still here. You know, the point is that there's still the things have never, you know, people die. Unfortunately, I've seen many collectors who passed away and they're technically forgotten because life goes on. And I'm saying that it's a bad thing because you have to remember the people that were before us in some way. A lot of good friends that I've made in this hobby, many already passed away. Great friends, people that we know here on YouTube. They created channels. And, you know, but life goes on. And, you know, and that's the way it is. So I would say on this, and this is my recommendation to anyone. The most important thing is that you value, you know, you value those things. You value the people. You value those that really mean a lot. You know, the people that actually care for you. The people that actually are being proactive in your life, the people that are actually there with you, involved with you. The collectibles are not, they're just like animated things. They're just beautiful things that you can get rid of. They're not permanent. So build your life around the people that you love, your family, your spouses, your children, everything else. Collectibles can come and go. I can today sell everything I own and start over again. I cannot replace my wife. I cannot replace my kids, but my kid, my daughter. I cannot replace my family. I cannot replace the time. That's something I learned the hard way. The time that is wasted, it's not coming back. All you can do is live for today and do what's best for today. And yes, it came out maybe too personal. I try to be a little bit, you know, not only about talking about collectibles here, but about the most important thing. Value what's important. The rest is meaningless. Comes and goes. Collectibles come and go. I lost, you know, many things I love, and then I lose love for them. They, you know, they don't inspire me anymore. Then I move on to the next thing. I sell it, I get rid of it, and I get something else. And that is a constant thing. I just have fun with it. And that's what I will tell anybody here. Have fun with it. That's it. Have fun with it. Don't take it personal. Realize that, you know, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Sometimes you're at the top, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're at the bottom. But at the end of the day, life goes on. And you're still here. Just have fun with it. Just enjoy it for the ride. I want to say, my friends, thank you very much. Again, thank you, Late Night Trip, for that super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. That will be put to good use. And anybody else, thank you very much for your support. I will also, again, tell you, please celebrate Mother's Day weekend. Celebrate your spouses. You're married. If you're not married, celebrate your mothers, your sisters who have kids. Celebrate your family. Celebrate the people around you. Let them know that they're valued. Even people that you meet at, you know, at the job. At my job, at this weekend on Friday, I was telling people, hey, happy Mother's Day to a lot of our clients that are women. You know, people need to hear it. And some people, they have this big smile. Like, they got this smile. I could hear it on the phone too with some customers, and I can feel that smile coming along. Just be nice to somebody. Just be nice to people. And that really goes for a Facebook group. Sometimes people, they are in a bad mood, but just try to be nice. It's hard for me sometimes to be nice with people that act a little bit off. But I have to remember that maybe it's because they're going through a lot. And I don't know. I don't see them. I only see a part of their lives, but I don't see their lives. So I have to keep that in mind, that in many ways, a lot of people seem invisible. And when you recognize them, that really means a lot to them. So try to, anybody around you, there's a lot of mothers that don't have kids. Or mothers that lost their kids. You know, there's a lot of people around us that are struggling in so many different ways. So try to be nice to them. That's more important. My friends, God bless you. Take care. Have a great night, great weekend. Stay tuned for more next week. I still gotta work on the Iron Studios review of the Superman versus Doomsday. I haven't really gotten to it. I gotta do it. I think that I gotta do, but it'll come in time. I want to say thank you very much for your support. And stay tuned for more. And take care, my friends. God bless you. Have a good night.